drug use on a form to buy a gun in October 2018, a gun that he kept for 11 days.
Fox's Manuel Rivera, he's the first child of a sitting president to be prosecuted. President Biden on the move.
President Biden will be in Greenwich, Connecticut this evening for an exclusive fundraiser with local politicians and business leaders. Access to the sold-out event reportedly costs $3,300 per person.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. Mexico elects its first female president. Claudia Sheinbaum takes over October 1st, succeeding Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. America's listening to Fox News.
What happened to Larry Scott?
What do you mean?
Larry's attacking his opponent over a water violation that resulted in no monetary fine, while Scott himself has over 10 state violations for his personal business.
That sounds hypocritical.
Right? And Larry's attacking others for receiving an appointment from Michelle Lujan Grisham. But he tried to get that same appointment from her and called himself a moderate in his job application to get it.
Wow. If the appointment was so bad, why did Larry apply for it?
There's more. Larry joined Michelle Lujan Grisham to give free health care to illegals, then said it was to keep rural hospitals open.
Yeah, right.
And he's voted to raise taxes 8 times, but in 10 years in Santa Fe has never even sponsored a bill on border security. But, of course, now that it's campaign season, he's talking tough on the border.
Seriously? What's happened to Larry?
After 10 years in Santa Fe, it's clear Larry has lost his way.
It's settled. I'm voting for Senator McCutcheon. Paid for by Stephen McCutcheon for Senate.
Honey, what are you doing? It's 4 a.m.
Well, I'm making a big breakfast for you and the kids. We gotta get going this morning. It's a long drive to Midland Airport.
I booked our flights out of our airport here in Hobbs. It's in town, not in Texas.
Well, you want some toast?
Is that strawberry?
Organic boysenberry.
I'm going back to bed.
Love you.
Flying in and out of Hobbs gives you more time and less stress. So when it's time to fly, you gotta fly Hobbs.
Lee County is full of people who love to be here. Full of people who care about Lee County roads, Lee County schools, Lee County police and fire. And most of all, full of people who care about the future of Lee County and Lee County children. Re-elect Pat Sims for Lee County Commissioner District 5. Pat has proven he will work hard for the people in Lee County. Re-elect Pat Sims for another 4 years.
Hi, I'm Pat Sims. I love Lee County, and I know you do too. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me as your District 5 Lee County Commissioner. Thank you.
Paid for by Pat Sims.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park, or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota. Let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Larry Marker, candidate for Senate District 27. I am an America First Republican. Over the past few months, we've seen and heard a lot from politicians. Those guys claim to be fighters. They put out hundreds of campaign signs, spend thousands of dollars on advertisements, and remind you of the prestigious positions they've held. These politicians don't even have the grit to show up to a real debate. My questions to you are these. Where were those guys when your businesses were being shut down and your churches were closed? Where were those guys when your school board members were threatened and some were even fired? Have those self-proclaimed fighters even lifted a finger to fight for the unborn? Have either of those guys invested or completely exhausted their personal resources defending your children and your parental rights? Do they have a plan to challenge the government land grab and the dozens of other issues facing us that will further erode our freedoms and destroy our nation? Please do your research. A lion doesn't need to tell you he is a lion. For more information, go to LarryMarker.com and please vote for Larry Marker on June 4th. This ad was paid for by friends of Larry Marker.
At Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC, over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
This is Deanne Kimbrough, and I'm running for Lee County Commissioner, District 1. Early voting has already started, and it's important that you get out and vote in the primaries, as this race will be decided there. I'm a lifelong Republican in everything that stands for, and I'm asking for your vote, Deanne Kimbrough, Lee County Commissioner, District 1.
Paid for by the committee to elect Deanne Kimbrough, Junior Hernandez, Treasurer.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
The southeast plains of New Mexico, its temperatures down to 285 with Roswell at 101 degrees on this Monday. It's 102 in Carlsbad, Artesia. Very hot week of weather on the way. In Hobbs and Lovington at 98 degrees this afternoon. In our radio studios in Lovington, the temperature will hit 100 degrees by tomorrow afternoon, but Roswell and Carlsbad both at 104. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts.
Your country plays on W105.
You guys ready?
Be in the Breakfast Club, broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God studio. Text line at 877-396-W105. Powered by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer. Question of the day brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply, your Napa dealer.
And I want to make sure I get the quote exactly right.
You seem particularly triggered right now.
How do you like your eggs?
I'm sorry.
What was that you were saying?
Eggs? How do you like them?
It is National Egg Day.
Do I hear fried, boiled, basted, or sunny side up?
Scrambled, please.
Over easy, okay?
Deviled eggs. There's deviled eggs.
Start out an excellent day. Classic.
It's no yolk. Bad yolk. Sorry, bad joke.
Gotta break some eggs.
Showtime!
And good morning to you. Glad you survived that nasty weather over the weekend. I might need somebody to go check to see if my skylights are intact in the RV.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, we up here we got about marble size.
Yeah, marble size.
Oh, okay.
But down in Hobbs, they were big.
Now in Denver City,
Hobbs and Tatum.
Yeah. Denver City, the earlier in the week they had basketball size hail. I know they showed me pictures of it.
Basketball size hail.
Yeah. I went to the bank and the banker showed me.
Talk about a world record size hail that they had to give it a new meaning.
Yeah, and it was like
what was
grapefruit.
It was like softball, but now you're telling me we've had basketball size hail.
Went to the bank and the banker showed me. They sent her pictures of it. I said, "Are you kidding me?"
I want pictures of basketball size hail.
Well, see, if you take a basketball and you spray it with water and you stick it in the freezer, that'll be.
It was basketball size. I mean,
I am
huge.
not buying into basketball size hail.
It was huge. It's bigger than a softball. I'll tell you that much.
I am not buying in the basketball size hail.
Like the size of a grapefruit?
Bigger. Way bigger.
Largest hail.
Came down in Denver City.
Oh, hell no.
You folks in Denver City, Texas, and let us know you did.
Oh, here we go. Here's the largest hailstone.
Oh, what is
and it is about the size of a softball. Yeah. But you're telling me
basketball size.
Basketball. I'm just not buying the basketball.
You had to grip it with two hands.
Yeah, that's.
Look, there's lots of things you got to grip with two hands that aren't the size of a basketball.
These were.
I would have to see a picture. Anybody has a picture of the basketball size hail?
Sharon, I know you listen to the show. You want to show me those pictures.
I'm not buying. I'm just not buying them. All right, thought for the day coming up this morning. Oh, one thing. I had, since I have no debit cards now, I couldn't get into my website. So I know one thing that I haven't done.
Okay.
The question of the day.
Ah.
So I didn't do the question of the day. So maybe I need to do the question of the day.
What's the biggest hailstorm you've lived through?
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to send her a memo, a text.
There you go. Sorry, off the cuff, we're talking about hailstones. Yeah. What's the biggest ones you've ever been in? The storm, the biggest ones you've seen?
2 years ago, and it hailed like it. Nobody's been inside here.
I'm typing.
I looked. It says right here. It says that the record hailstone is 5.38 inches.
And the size of a basketball.
How big is a basketball?
I don't know, 12 inches, 13, 14. Somebody on
Yeah,
the
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like the size of a pizza. Like if you
relate
made it,
that,
and then you do
right.
it. You know,
That's
low.
a good way to relate to it.
So, Tom, basketball, are you holding to that?
Yes, I am. I saw the pictures.
I think somebody was pulling your leg. So, I'd love to hear from you. 877-396-W105. And with that said, baseball size hail is huge.
Yeah,
Softball size hail is ridiculous.
Huger.
Yeah. I mean, that's basketball size hail would go right through a roof.
I think your skylight's all right, dude.
Please do not change the subject.
Yeah.
Basketball size hail, I think, would go through some roofs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like a meteor.
Yeah. So I'm calling BS is what I'm calling. Today is Impersonation Authority Day. Love conquers all day. National Thank God It's Monday. Who the hell said that?
Right.
National Chocolate Macaroon Day. National Egg Day. National Itch Day. National Leave the Office Early Day. Cider Day. World Club Foot Day. Going on all day today.
I almost got to take part in that.
Yeah. Over the weekend, Blake tried to cut his foot off. Thank God he survived.
What'd you do, buddy?
Me and a saw blade had an argument. It won.
Yeah, it always wins. Donald Trump appeared at UFC 202 over the weekend, received a huge standing ovation at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey.
You know he was.
Newark really relates to Donald Trump because half the people in there had felonies too.
Right.
So
More
Trump
than half.
walked out with
Newark? Yeah.
UFC President Dana White, and which the left seemed to say that he's a racist guy because his name is White. Look, the left will believe anything when it comes to racist, but let me just say the tide is turning. More and more people turning to Donald Trump, especially in light of everything that goes on. And I don't say the number, but it is a ridiculous amount of money that they have raised. We're going to get to that. And guess who's on TikTok now?
Trump?
Yes, take that. Take that, Nikki Haley.
Have to look.
The biggest problem that's ever hit America. TikTok, Donald Trump is now on it.
Well, that just means her daughter will be able to see it since she's on TikTok too.
Yeah. Racked up 22 million viewers in the matter of hours. 22 million viewers like that.
Election's over, boys.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
But weren't you the one, Tom, that was talking about TikTok and, the Chinese and all that stuff?
Well, they wanted to buy it.
He was? No, Chinese own it now.
Yeah. Well, someone wanted to buy it.
By the way, if you see a hand on the camera, I'm trying to plug in. That way it doesn't die on us. All right, there we go. Jennifer Lopez canceled tour to spend time with her family and friends and said that I'm completely heartsick.
Huh.
What, that you got to spend time with your family? And Rupert Murdoch got married over the weekend to his bride, Ellen, the sunshine of his life in the sunny California vineyard that he owns. Of course, he owns everything. Murdoch is 93. She's 67. That's Murdoch, Mrs. Murdoch number 9.
Well, that wasn't the only happy wedding over the weekend. The station's very own Jason Adams.
Jason Adams got married over the weekend. I did see that on the Facebook.
Yes.
If you're old, you have to say the Facebook. So, yes. Yeah, I was reminded over the weekend by Tommy, who I think is all-field liberal, that I'm old. And so I know how old I am. I get out of bed every day, and I feel it every damn day.
Yes.
But, Tommy, here's one thing that I will never apologize for.
Which is?
Saying what I say, living where I live, and believing what I do believe. Because I would rather die than be a liberal like you. I would.
Wait a minute. You're the one at Chunklet the other day, a year ago.
How have I chunklet?
Well, you went to become a independent.
That is the dumbest thing that you've ever said. And by the God, you've said a lot of dumb things.
You did, you traitor.
That's dumb. That's really dumb.
By the way,
I stand by my conservative values more so than you will ever stand by yours. You flip-flopping, chunkless son of a buck.
By the way, get out and vote tomorrow. It's your last opportunity to go to the polls.
Yes. Surprise, surprise, illegal migrant from pick a country. Blake, go ahead. It was
Salvador.
a shooting, so go ahead and pick one.
Venezuela.
Venezuela, yes. Ding, ding for Blake. Shoots 2 New York City police officers during a foot chase in Queens. 2 New York City police officers shot early this morning while chasing a suspect who authorities say was an illegal migrant from Venezuela and shouldn't even be in the country at the time.
Or have a gun.
Have a gun. How did they get a gun in New York? They're outlawed.
Well,
It's happened about 1:45 a.m. By the way, both of them were wearing, one officer shot in the stomach area through his bulletproof vest. The other officer shot in the leg. Both officers rushed to the hospital, stable condition, expected to recover. Mayor Adams, where are you?
Or how about Governor Kathy Hochul?
Yeah.
I mean,
the mayor said not every normal New York citizen is wearing one of these, talking about the bulletproof vest. Maybe they should think about it because your city is out of control.
Right.
And if I have to do one more story about another illegal alien, I was going to say something else, but I kind of...
Yep. So did they get the shooter or what?
Yeah, another illegal alien that does harm on U.S. citizens, guests to this country, guests to the Biden country, that he has allowed them in. Protect yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Protect yourself. Hunter Biden's criminal trial on the federal gun charge begins today. And guess what's going to be a big topic during this investigation? What's going to be a big topic, Blake?
There are so many. Where do I start? It's going to be Donald Trump being convicted, I'm sure.
But it's really going to be about the menage a trois that was going on between Hunter Biden.
I think they're going to blame Trump.
Oh.
I really do. I think that
Trump's right. Yes.
I really do. You know? I mean,
Yes. Yes. Mass protesters raising a sign and yelling, "Kill the hostages," during an Israel Day parade in New York City.
Wow.
Is that a terrorist threat?
Yes.
It just sounds like a terrorist threat to me. All right, we're going to talk about football. Tom, I'm going to let you talk about the NMAA brand new playoff format for football. I'll let you talk about that coming up in just a second. All right, 6:19, 19 minutes after the hour 6. We are B&M, the Breakfast Club. Quick check of the weather this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd and Roswell Farm and Ranch Supplies. Western Gear, they've got everything you need to take care of your certified Purina dealer. And if you're living on a farm or a ranch, they are perfect. Yeah, because they got everything. Plumbing supplies. If you're looking for water pump motors, they've got you covered there. Gates. Looking for cattle guards, they've got everything. 1105 East 2nd and Roswell, online at roswelllivestock.com. It's going to be hot today, 100 today. Maybe a little wind, 15-mile-an-hour winds in the morning. By this afternoon, that wind is gone. 66 tonight, and then 101 again tomorrow with less than 10-mile-an-hour winds. Sunny on Wednesday, back in the 90s, though, and back up to about 102 coming up on Thursday. Check of the weather being brought to you by Butcher Block Meat Market and Grill. Find them in Lovington, family-owned and operated. Been in the meat market business now for 30-plus years. They understand, the meat market end of things. And part of the reason everything is so awesome in the grill is because it all begins with awesome meat. Let them cut your steak, custom cut your steak. They've got burger patties. They've got your pork chops. In fact, you can go on Facebook and check out the weekly meat specials as we speak. You can also get the daily lunch specials up there on Facebook. So go like them on Facebook. Yeah. Serving up breakfast right now. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they serve breakfast and lunch. You can dine in or take it to go. And while you're there, try the delicious beef jerky or some of their smoked meats. 1422 South Main in Lovington. It's 575-739-7778. I got to get to the tweet of the day. I had no idea the topic that we're going to talk about. I knew these guys were making a lot of money. We're going to get to that. And also the thought for the day coming up this morning. Tom on the text, 877-396-W105.
All right, so this text says, Revelation 16:21 says, before the end of time, hailstones will be the size of a talent, which weighs 130 pounds, says the texter. So it's going to get worse, huh? Okay. And,
yes. That's the end of the world, Tom.
Yes. And Biden's been on TikTok since February and only has about 350K. Trump had, this texter says, over 2.5 million followers in less than 10 hours.
No, he had 22 million.
Oh, 22 million.
Followers.
This one says 2.5. And another text says, these are bigger than softball, says the texter.
Well, and the photo there, and from the angle of the photo, it kind of looks a little bit, but those are about softball size. If you take the foreshortening out of that photo.
I mean, I've seen softball size, but basketball size?
No.
I mean, try taking let's just think about this, a bowling ball,
right,
and drop it from 20 feet up in the air and let it hit your windshield.
That's an atomic deal right there.
Well, these baseball, softball, all those size hail, they do damage. They break skylights. They break windshields.
To my car.
Skylights.
We were in Fort Worth and pulled over underneath the overpass, which they say you're not supposed to do.
Right.
But we did it. And we were one of a dozen cars under the overpass. And it was already about golf ball size that was coming down. And it got bigger. And it got up to about baseball size. And everybody that was outside of that overpass lost all their windows had all kinds of dents and everything.
Well, Friday I went under the awning of that new convenience store here in town.
Oh, yeah?
This hail was coming down. I said, I just got this car. I don't want to.
I ran in there, got a couple burritos, got me a 44-ounce, and got the honcho.
Not yet.
I rode that sucker right out.
One more text on the hail. It says, how about mini basketball? Says this one texter.
Well, that would be softball.
I might be able to go with that. Just basketball just seems too much.
That would be a mini basketball would be about the size of a softball.
Yeah, about the same size. Yeah. All right, let's get to the tweet of the day this morning, being brought to you by our buddies at the Hobbs Airfield Speedway. They are going to be racing this Friday. That's June 7th, TNT and the Gredge races. They will be racing, and the gates open at 6. $15 for spectators. Won a tech card that's $30. Races start exactly at 7. And kids under 12 get in free. They accept cash, card, prep track, quarter-mile track. If you're ready to race, call Jamal, 575-631-5099. Want to find out what's going on? Hobbs Airfield Speedway. Follow them TikTok, Facebook, and on Instagram. All right, tweet of the day this morning. I had no idea who was making all the money. Tom, which corporation do you think is making the most money in America?
I'm going to say
what area? I mean, like
what industry?
What industry?
I'm going to say oil and gas.
Yeah, well, you would not be alone. Most people, that's what they said. But would it surprise you if I said hospitals?
No.
They make money?
Listen,
Really?
Yeah.
Having just been there.
Listen to this.
If you ask right now, what's the number one industry of the most money they did last year? You know what most people would say? They'd say energy, oil. You know that's only $500 billion? You know what's number one? Hospitals. Yeah. $1.5 trillion. And when they ask them on how much you charge for a basic surgery, bypass, or whatever it is, their range is from, $44,000 up to $580,000. Why is that range such a big range? And by the way, who controls your pricing? And do you guys have to report on what it really costs you to do this? And I think under Trump, I don't know if you remember this, in 2020, 2021, he kind of came out with a law forcing hospitals to report honestly, like, here's what you're doing. I think out of 500 hospitals they audited, 471 never even completed their numbers on what they're costing. So they're charging people. So most people think it's providers making a lot of money. Providers are not making a lot of money. They're losing money. The people that are making money is hospitals. So
is that a surprise?
I am.
Not really.
No, because hospitals, there are no set prices. And you would think that the insurance companies would be yelling and screaming, going, wait. That's out of range. Hospitals.
Well,
make the most money.
They sort of kind of do, depending on the circumstances and everything around it. But yeah, I mean, hospitals are in it to make money. And they do.
No, really.
Now, like
making lots of money.
Like they said, that it's not the actual doctors that are making all the money. It's the hospitals
it's not
themselves.
The providers.
But then you always hear people that don't have insurance come in there and get treatment because they have to get treatment
for free. Yeah,
And
and then that's why hospitals say they charge more.
To make it up.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to be mean and point a finger. No. Tom, you always say people are looking for a better life, but if they come from another country, and look, border hospitals have actually gone bankrupt.
Right.
Because you can't turn them down.
Well, they're taking that hypothetical oath.
Hippocratic.
Yeah.
Not hypothetical. Hippocratic.
Hypothetical oath. You'd be like, well, if we don't accept you.
Right.
Hippocratic.
Oh, you know what I meant.
Hippocratic.
All right. Maxine Waters. Wow. Maxine Waters is looking out for you guys. Maxine Waters is scared. Maxine Waters is scared of you people. Here's what Maxine Waters had to say about you ultra MAGA trash.
I am going to spend some time with the criminal justice system, with the justice system, asking them, tell us what's going on with the domestic terrorists. Are they preparing a civil war against us? Should we be concerned about our safety? What is he doing with this divisive language? It is dangerous, and we're going to have to make sure that we understand that we're not at risk with this man talking in the way that he's doing.
I have a hard time, I really do have a hard time understanding what she's saying, because she is the one that said, if you see a Republican, you go right up to them. I don't care if they're eating their food. I don't care if they're with their family.
Get in their face.
Get in their face. And what has Donald Trump said? That it's a sham? Ooh, it triggered you, Maxine. Ooh. Here's another 80-plus-year-old lady that should be out of office. Take that stack of money and go back to California. Here's another lie that she had to say.
shocked and amazed that his supporters would follow him with the lies and distortions that he continues to give to the American people. He says it's rigged. He says if they can do this to me, they can do it to you, bringing in others to cover the lies that he's telling.
And you know what? We still have something in this country, and it's called freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
It is the greatest
supposedly.
thing. Yeah, supposedly. Yeah. But let me tell you who spoke. USC fight, Saturday night.
Also in the building, former President Donald Trump.
You think Biden would get a welcome like that? No. You think Biden would have a fighter that would go and talk to him like Sean Strickland?
President Trump, you're the man, bro. It is a damn travesty what they're doing to you. I'll be donating to you, my man. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Congratulations, sir. Sean Strickland, ladies and gentlemen.
And I don't remember who the African-American fighter, the fight before that, did the same thing. Didn't say anything, but went over there, got out of the octagon, and went over there and shook hands with him.
And that was Joe Rogan, the announcer, right?
Yes, it was. Yes. We talked about the chants, Israel Day. Yeah, they want to kill the hostages. Nobody arrested at that. Go ahead, kill the hostages. Kill the hostages.
Well,
By the way, Israel,
according to Maxine Waters, that's just peaceful.
Oh, that's peaceful.
But Donald
stuff.
Trump, we need to go after him again legally.
Yeah. Still to come, we're going to get to Megyn Kelly takes on a liberal. We'll get to that. And a Trump advisor had something to say. And ABC over the weekend said, look, all of this has done nothing than solidify the Republican Party. And Rush, we'll do a Rush flashback, Rush Limbaugh flashback. In Chi-Town, black folks in Chi-Town, the great flip. I will get to that. We're going to take a break in a second. 6:32, Beyond the Breakfast Club. Morning show being brought to you by North Star Laundry, one-stop shop for all your laundry needs. Dry cleaning, pressing. They can wash, dry, and fold all of your clothes. And if you don't want them to do it, not a problem. You can do it yourself. They have coin-operated machines, and they're open 7 days a week. 609 West Lee Street in Carlsbad, 604 West Church Street in Carlsbad, and 406 West Cedar in Loving. Check them out today. Tom on the text.
All right, I was in Ohio. This is Digger Bill saying, I was in Ohio 1966 at age 8 visiting family friends. I was riding on an open tractor. We were plowing a field when the hailstorm came from behind a tree line, and the hail were about the size of baseballs with spikes sticking out of them.
Yeah.
We got shelter in an abandoned house, though, down the road, says Bill this morning. Yeah. And you know what?
Hailstones aren't perfectly round.
Right.
They're very jagged.
And you know what the national average for an abdominal CT scan without contrast is $3,600. Carlsbad Medical charged me $10,000 after insurance adjustments and payments. I still owe $4,600.
I'm not going to brag. I had a ultrasound of my entire stomach. They looked at everything from my prostate all the way up. It cost me $100. No, it wasn't even that. It was like $70.
Nice to live in paradise, isn't it?
Well, I'm not saying it's paradise. I'm just saying the cost of stuff.
Well, and the reason is because people still pay cash for the medical service.
Yes.
So that's another reason why hospitals charge is because insurance pays.
Well, and the other thing, and let me just be honest, they're leveling the playing field because Medicaid pays garbage. And so they've got to make that money back from the people that are on Medicaid. So they do so by charging regular insurance more.
Right.
Sad but true.
Well, this texture goes on to envy. Guess I'm paying for a few of those illegals.
Yes.
You could be.
I know when I get my bill for my foot, I'll be paying for a few too.
Oh, yeah. All right, Tom, tell us about New Mexico Activity Association board changing the playoff format.
All right, so they met Thursday in their final board meeting of the year, and they decided they were going to change the playoff format for the football. Also, they're mulling over also changing formats to soccer and also softball. But they did decide they were going to change football. The board voted to eliminate the wins versus district champions portion of the seeding and the selection criteria, something many coaches have wanted to do for years, but they couldn't do it. So now they're going to do that. And Gene Strickland of the Hobbs School District was a no vote because he said, look, we have our programs are scheduled to be powerful as reputable teams in southeast New Mexico, and we play the best of the best. And so he believes that they're punishing him for that. But the NMA said, no, we got to change that, so they're going to do it.
Now, another thing, Tom, and they didn't include it in this story, but I'm hearing that all state championship games are going to be played in Albuquerque.
Well, I didn't see that either, but I'm hoping they do.
I did not see it, but I
thought they did that already.
No, they don't.
A former athletic director said they left that out of the story, but all state championship games would be played in Albuquerque.
You know what I wish they would change that this owing system that you may have played.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You may have played a team a year ago or 10 years ago. You still have owe them.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous rule. But having to play in one centralized location, like I know in Louisiana, you play for the state championship in New Orleans at the Superdome.
Oh, nice.
And Texas is divided up into two regions now.
Right. Yep.
So state championship, one is in Dallas, one is in
San Antonio.
Is it San Antonio or Houston?
The Alamo Dome.
It's the Alamo Dome in San Antonio.
Alamo Dome. So it's divided up. So you actually 5A, 6A has two state championships.
All of them do, yes.
So because it's divided up.
They still play neutral site for all the playoff games.
Right.
So
all
that
playoff games
they're
up
close
into the playoffs. Yeah, up into the championship game. Yes.
Well, I agree with that. Get them in Albuquerque. I mean, they do play the basketball championships at the pit, right?
Yes. So it would be no different.
Right.
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, that fight has been called off.
Well, for real?
Who called it off?
Well, Mike Tyson postponed the fight because of his medical scare.
Yeah, I was going to say that means that his medical thing is worse than we think.
Yeah. All right, when we return, we're going to talk about Michelle Lujan Gresham and huge red flags over the $600 million deal. Our buddy Larry Behrens wrote a huge piece from Power to the People on that. Did you see that, Blake?
I did not, but I
and
was out
Oregon,
on Friday. So
Oregon defendants who do not have a lawyer.
I did see that.
Must be released from jail.
Yeah. Commit crimes in Oregon, folks. Go there.
And a man charged with escaping from jail appears in court today. And OPEC just pulled the rug out under Joe Biden. I'll talk about that coming up. Let me get to the thought of the day. Then we got to take a break. Thought of the day being brought to you by Wakefield Oil, 35 years serving southeast New Mexico. Quality products, excellent service, dependable, boom or bust. They are there for you. Diesel, DEF value. They've got all of that. WakefieldOil.com for more information. Before I do the thought of the day, let me just say, I do not care if you're a member of the LGBTQ. I don't. I don't care.
Nope.
It's Pride Month. I don't care. I will treat you no different than I treat anybody else.
100%.
I will treat you the same as I do everybody else. But do we really need a whole month to celebrate your sexuality?
No.
I mean, vets get one day. People that have died for this country get one day. Celebration of love, Valentine's, one day. Jesus Christ dying gets one day. His resurrection gets one day. And I'll say it again. I don't care who you love. I don't care who you sleep with. I really don't. A whole month? And that's just Pride Month. We got Coming Out Month and all kind of other stuff. And I'll just say it again. If I don't know you're gay, I don't care. If I do know you're gay, I don't care. God bless you. Love who you want. God bless you. A whole month? Wow. Tom, wrap up the text. We got to take a break. 20 away from the hour of 7. Be on the Breakfast Club on W105.
Hi, guys. Have you heard about Carlsbad building a new high school that's going to cost $2 billion? No. Here's the
$300 million.
$300 million. The voters passed a general obligation bond for $300 million high school. Now, they're also going to improvements to a middle school there in Carlsbad as well. So it's a combined deal. So it's $300 million.
Yeah, and they, that's the bond, and they will spend that much, and they probably will come back with another bond for some other projects. But $300 million's a far shy.
There's a lot of oil money.
$2 billion. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and look for some help in that too. I mean, there is like.
Yeah, I would think the state would.
Nah, it's going to be things like the Permian Strategic Partnership. They help like build SeaTech here at Hobbs. And so, like the oil companies themselves have that, so they can help with projects like that.
So it's $300 million it's going to cost, supposedly.
Yeah.
All right. Get to it. Go ahead.
Oh, you want another text me? I'll give you another one, bro.
Or we could just go to a break.
And all states championships should be played at the top seeds stadiums. This one texter is saying, Albuquerque is trash, and for some people to drive, so you don't get all of your fans to attend. Last year, Lovington fans packed the stadium in Portales, but I don't think it would have been the same if we had to travel to Albuquerque, says the
Well, that's the direction it looks like it's going.
Yeah.
So, all right, check of the weather this morning. It's going to be a hot day, being brought to you by Twin Wells Fuel Station. If you're driving on 128, exit Buck Jackson Road, go down 2.75 miles and fill her up. They apologize for any inconvenience that a couple weeks ago they had that card reader that just stopped working, and harsh environment, this wind and dirt and just hot weather and cold weather. They apologize for the inconvenience. It is upgraded. It is fixed. And they're ready to do business again. They accept all WEX cards, credit cards, and, of course, all debit cards. Be safe on the road from Twin Wells Fuel Station. 100 today, hot and very little wind, less than 15 miles an hour. 66 tonight and 101 tomorrow. It's going to be very warm throughout the rest of the week. Check of news being brought to you by Janko Janitorial, 324 West Main in Artesia, full-service company. They offer janitorial supplies. You need them, commercial-grade janitorial supplies. Call Amber this morning, 575-703-1869. They do everything from window cleaning to office cleaning to floor stripping and waxing. They do all your commercial cleaning. They can also do janitorial, industrial cleaning, and all field cleaning. They are very well trained and certified. Call Amber this morning, 575-703-1869, JankoJanitorial.com. Taking a break. We're going to keep you updated with everything going on. Price of oil on the way. We'll talk about what is OPEC doing. And will it help Trump or Biden? We'll dive down into that coming up next. 644, be in the Breakfast Club. We're W105.
Thank you for calling.
The Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. Here's what's happening. A Portales, New Mexico man sentenced for crimes related to child abuse and attacking officers. He pled guilty in March this year. 29-year-old Alfonso Perez accused of 2 incidents, as a result charged with multiple felonies such as abuse of a child, 4 counts of battery, and a peace officer. First happened in February of 2022 when he reportedly became angry with a 7-year-old child. Police say he beat that child with a Louis Vuitton belt. Later, the child's grandmother noticed purple bruises all over the body. It was reported Perez charged for the incident in June of that same year while awaiting trial for the child abuse case when he tried to fight jailers at the jail. 3 officers were struck. A taser was knocked out of one of their hands. He faces charges for that. As a property owner, imagine one day discovering squatters occupying your land or house. What would you do? Lee County Attorney John Caldwell recommends property owners who have squatters on their land to call the Lee County Sheriff's Office and allege criminal trespass. Lee County Sheriff Corey Heldon also recommends calling LCSO as soon as possible. The definition of a squatter is someone who was occupying an abandoned or vacant property without permission from the owner of that property. Police suspect foul play after a Carlsbad man missing since December last year found dead in a remote area of Eddy County. 23-year-old Bill Kemmerer was identified Friday after an autopsy performed on the remains. He was first reported missing by family members December 4th last year. He was last seen days earlier. Kemmerer's body was found May 17th near the intersection of Bounds Road and Black River Village Road. Investigators did notify Kemmerer's family of the positive ID of the body. That's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
You're back! You're back! I have a gun! I will f***ing shoot you!
This is Anissa Tinnin. That's the 911 tape where you hear me shoot a 5-time repeat felon that broke into my home here in New Mexico and threatened me and my granddaughter. I was terrified, but what's also terrifying is that Governor Lujan Grisham is attacking our Second Amendment rights. The same Governor Lujan Grisham who handpicked Steve McCutcheon to fill a vacant state Senate seat. Later, McCutcheon told the Roswell newspaper on September 23rd that he was undecided on supporting a special session to impeach Grisham for signing away the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. McCutcheon relented only after all other Republicans had already agreed. That's why I support Larry Scott for state Senate. Larry has a career-long A rating from the NRA after hundreds of pro-Second Amendment votes over 10 years. Send the governor a message that you're not undecided about gun rights. Vote Larry Scott for state Senate because the next victim could be you.
Paid for by Our Values PAC.
It's Elaine Sena-Cortez, your conservative Republican candidate for state representative. When you think of Lee County, what comes to mind? For me, it's oil and gas. It's the hardworking New Mexicans who keep our state and the country moving. Santa Fe has declared war on our industry. With rising inflation and crushing national debt, it's obvious that Lee County's oil and gas industry is the answer to our problems. But radical Democrats hate our American energy. Let's take a stand. My vision is simple. Drill, baby, drill.
Paid for by the committee to elect Elaine Sena-Cortez for New Mexico House.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
Hello, this is Deborah Hicks for New Mexico House District 62. I am your only candidate active in the New Mexico legislative process from bill to law. I'm running because I want to see New Mexico flourish again. With crime at an all-time high and as an NRA lifelong member, I will defend our Second Amendment rights. I will help to extinguish the battle against oil and gas, and will focus to increase economic development and decrease government spending. Lee County needs your vote for Deborah Hicks.
Paid for by the committee to elect Deborah Hicks.
This is Larry Marker, candidate for Senate District 27. I am an America First Republican. Over the past few months, we've seen and heard a lot from politicians. Those guys claim to be fighters. They put out hundreds of campaign signs, spend thousands of dollars on advertisements, and remind you of the prestigious positions they've held. These politicians don't even have the grit to show up to a real debate. My questions to you are these. Where were those guys when your businesses were being shut down and your churches were closed? Where were those guys when your school board members were threatened and some were even fired? Have those self-proclaimed fighters even lifted a finger to fight for the unborn? Have either of those guys invested or completely exhausted their personal resources defending your children and your parental rights? Do they have a plan to challenge the government land grab and the dozens of other issues facing us that will further erode our freedoms and destroy our nation? Please do your research. A lion doesn't need to tell you he is a lion. For more information, go to LarryMarker.com and please vote for Larry Marker on June 4th. This ad was paid for by friends of Larry Marker.
W105, be in the Breakfast Club. Tom A. has lost his mind, so you don't have to.
You seem particularly triggered right now.
Call now. 877-396-W105.
He's a friend of mine. Friend with a big mouth.
Let's go, Z! Hello, this is Peter Pixter from the Practicing Political Party Pollers of America, here to give you the latest polls following the conviction of former President Donald Trump. Out of the people polled from both parties, 78% said their opinion of the former president has not changed, with 92% of that 78% saying their opinion has only grown stronger. In a follow-up poll, 52% of the 92%, but only 32% of the 78% said they think the former president has real hair, with 62% of the total percent thinking it looks silly either way. 57% of the 62% did say they love to stroke it just to see what it feels like. To conclude, there was a whopping 98% of people polled that are absolutely dreading this election. Got it?
652, taking out the trash. I got polling numbers that I think they're full of it. I'll get to that coming up in just a second. Morning show this morning being brought to you by our buddy Randy Pettigrew, State Representative Randy Pettigrew. Message paid for by Randall Pettigrew. Find out more information, randallpettigrew.com. You know, this governor has, attacked our way of life, and there's been a guy out there that's continued to fight for our way of life. Randy Pettigrew, District 61. If you don't know about Randy, you can always go to randallpettigrew.com. And don't forget, Election Day is tomorrow. If you're in District 61, vote for Randy Pettigrew. And Randy fighting for the oil and gas industry and fighting for our kids and fighting for our Second Amendment rights, fighting for our constitutional rights. Randy reminds you, get out there and vote. If you need more information, randallpettigrew.com for more information. Message paid for by Randall Pettigrew. A new survey found that 1 in 3 American teachers have used AI as tools to teach kids. Kids normally give their teachers an apple. Now that references, of course, iPads with AI capability. Other 2/3 of teachers say that, they're too busy with to use AI, just trying to keep the kids awake. So no AI for those classrooms. AI can be a great thing. AI can also be a terrible thing. Yes. Depends on how you use it. Can be an awesome thing. Tom, do you use AI ever?
Nah.
No. I can't use no AI.
Do you even know what AI is?
No.
Okay. What's it stand for?
I don't know. I'm sure there's something for it.
Artificial intelligence.
There you go. That's why I didn't know it. It's all artificial.
There you go.
Or it.
Do you ever use your phone and search for something on Google? You don't ever search for anything on or Yahoo or Google or any of the other search engines?
Oh, here's a great one. A map. How about using Google Maps?
All of that is AI driven.
Yeah. Well, We know you don't use the Google Maps, because if you did, it wouldn't take you 7 hours to get to Lubbock.
Well,
New research has revealed that rich people are genetically at a greater risk of cancer than poor people. Luckily, they have a cure for cancer, boatloads of cash. I mean, it does help when you get ill that you have lots and lots of cash.
Yep.
It does help. I'm going to talk about somebody that's got cancer coming up in the next couple breaks. And I don't like her personally, but I would never wish bad things on her. I'll get to that. The cast of Knives Out 3 is building nicely. Daniel Craig is back. Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Josh O'Connor, and Glenn Close, along with Jeremy Renner. Knives Out 3. And former Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III is working at the governor's mansion in Nevada.
Really? Okay.
Tom, where is the governor's mansion in Nevada?
I think it's Reno, isn't it?
No, it's Carson City.
Oh, Carson City.
Anyway, he's doing 3 to 10 years in prison, and he was sentenced about a year ago and pled guilty to driving 157 miles an hour and crashing into a car and killing a 23-year-old woman and her dog.
Yeah,
and his blood alcohol at the time was 0.16. That's twice the legal limit in Nevada. He went from having everything to being an errand boy at the governor's mansion and doing gardening. That's how quick your life can change when you do stupid stuff. Just a word of advice. Kids, it comes at you quick. Life can change very quick.
We have a phone call?
Let's go to the phone call. Then we'll talk about the baby box and Hobbs.
Oh, that's right. Good morning. You're on Being the Breakfast Club. Who's calling this morning?
It's Smiley Wooten, Rawls of Livestock Auction. You guys play the market report this morning?
It didn't get in, Smiley. I don't.
Didn't come through.
No, sir.
Lost in the clouds.
Yes, sir. I had the spot in there for it, but we didn't get it.
All right. Well, I sent it to you. But
can you
anyways,
can you give it to us real quick?
Yeah, I'll resend it to you.
Okay.
Maybe it'll come through.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
You bet.
At least we know who Smileywood radio station Smiley listens to.
That's right. That's right.
New Mexico baby box activated second time. Newborn baby received safe and secure. And remember, Tom, do you remember when they built these baby boxes? I said, it cost $60,000 to build them. And I thought we could use that money for something else, since we already had the law in place that you could just drop it off at a hospital, a fire station. But I think I've gone soft on this.
Well,
but on the bad part, Blake, and you can attest to this, once those babies are turned in, they investigate the mother. That's not the point.
No, they're not supposed to.
The last baby that was dropped off, they investigated the mother. Now, that could be because the baby was too old. What was the limit? No older than 3 months?
Yeah, it's 90 days.
90 days. So the baby, I think, was like 4 months, if I remember right. So they investigated the mother. But I'm not for abortion, and there are people that want babies. They want newborns.
Right.
And I don't think those folks should be investigated. That's just a deterrent for people bringing the babies in.
I agree. And if you go and if there's not a baby box and you take it to a hospital, they're going to let you walk right out.
Yeah, you just bring it to the hospital or bring it to the fire department and drop it off. No questions asked. I think the police station is another place. All right, we're going to do Taking Out Trash coming in just a second. This story could be trash, taking out trash. bombshell report reveals the huge red flags in Governor Michelle Lujan Gresham's $600 million solar deal. Major concern.
A little bit of a
have
boondoggle.
arisen. Yeah, it is a boondoggle. Remember Solyndra?
Yes.
Remember the Solyndra that Obama and Biden came up with? Solyndra made billions and never did a damn thing with the money. It was a boondoggle. And I just wonder how much money Joe Biden and Obama made. But $600 million solar manufacturing initiative, an in-depth front-page report from the Albuquerque Journal reveals several troubling issues surrounding the company behind the project. Central to Michelle Lujan Gresham's solar plans, the company is under investigation for violating federal security laws. In addition to this legal scrutiny, the company has faced significant delays in releasing their financial documents and reports, which has contributed to substantial drop in their stock price. Perhaps most concerning is the largest shareholder of the company is now based. Tom, take a guess where they're based.
Ohio.
Try China.
China.
Try Shanghai. Yeah, China.
Wow.
Larry Barron's, our buddy from Power of the Future, says these are only just some of the red flags. And said there are many flaws, and the main problem is with the Inflation Reduction Act that it leaves taxpayers on the hook to foot the cost with little to no guarantee for results. And the fact that this Chinese company would benefit from any profits only makes it worse. This is just the latest data that proves this green energy can't stand on its own. It has to get massive handouts from New Mexicans. The issue with the companies have emerged since the governor announced the partnership in late August. Additionally, the company has already missed the governor's promised deadline to break ground on the facility. So we just hand out $600 million to a company, and nothing has gotten done. Where's the accountability? It's our money.
Right.
Pretty sad. Oregon defendants will not, if they don't hire, Blake, tell me if this is, I mean, this story is so ludicrous.
Yes, it is.
So if a defendant that breaks the law doesn't have an attorney, they release him from jail.
Correct. That's what they want to do in Oregon. It was part of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. It was a 2-1 decision. Yeah, it was a 2-1 decision. And they said for years they have a failed public defender's office defending criminals, in their thing. So 3,200 defendants as of Friday did not have a public defender. So all of those people are gonna get let out.
I'm just gonna say, we are living in a sick, sick world. We really are.
So
it's crazy.
Two things here. If you were thinking about moving to Oregon, let that sink in. The second thing, hey, if you want to do a crime and you know you can't afford an attorney, you're going to get let out of jail.
Even if you can afford an attorney, you just say you can't.
Yeah.
And you get off.
Yep.
Joseph Toney is expected to be back in court today on whether he will be remain locked up while he awaits his trial. Now, this is the guy that he escaped from a juvenile center. They call it a youth service center. He turned himself back in the following day. But this guy is a murderer. He murdered 2 people. And he's in a juvenile facility. He's almost 20 years old now. How long do you hold him as a juvenile? And what is he doing giving? This is not a maximum facility, a security facility.
No.
So he faces the judge today at 1:30. I would think they move his butt to an adult facility because he is an adult. Now, Blake, who does this help? OPEC yesterday agreed they are going to cut production in a bid to boost oil prices. Who does that help in this presidential election?
Well, it'll end up helping Trump.
Yes.
Because Biden is doing everything he can, including threatening oil companies, to lower the price of gas at the pump.
Right.
Because it's so much higher than when he took office.
Yeah. This will raise the price of a barrel, which in turn will raise the price at the pump.
Yep.
Biden. Republicans vowing to upend the Democrat-led Senate. After Trump's guilty verdict, Republicans signed a public letter sent it to the White House on Friday, vowing to prevent the upper chamber from accomplishing anything until after the election. Good job. And Sheila Jackson Lee, diagnosed with cancer. Democrat from Texas, just lost that Houston mayor's election, has pancreatic cancer. She's 74 years old.
You know,
she has been in the 8th congressional district for 30-plus years. I'm going to pray for her.
Yes, I never want to wish ill on anyone.
No, I would never wish that, bad things, but I'm going to pray for her. All right, on the way, we're going to talk about the Navy SEALs have gone woke. I got taken out the trash. Megyn Kelly argued with a liberal about the Trump trial. Here's what she had to say.
Conduct, you can just put it's a legal expense, right?
This wasn't illegal. There's nothing illegal about paying hush money for an NDA. It's done
There's not.
all the
But when
time.
you're doing it to protect your campaign, it is. That's the difference.
No. What law are you citing, Dan?
Campaign finance laws. You're not allowed to give the...
You don't know what you're talking
about.
about.
What are you talking...
You're wrong.
Explain to me.
Let me explain to you.
Tell me what I'm getting wrong. Tell me what I'm getting wrong. When you're spending $130,000...
I'll explain.
Go ahead.
I get it, because you're saying that there are limits to the campaign contributions somebody can make, and this has exceeded them, and then they hit it. I understand. That's his theory. However, this has been wrong from the start.
Yeah.
It does not amount to a campaign contribution if it is the kind of payment that could ever be made outside of the campaign context.
That's not the standard. The standard is
Yes,
substantiality. It's not. It's substantiality.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're wrong.
Okay.
No, it's not.
I guess we're going to
You're
have to agree to
There's been Supreme Court precedent on this. Talk to Brad Smith, who was the FEC commissioner.
You're wrong. The standard is substantiality.
By the way, Supreme Court ruled on this. Bubba has done it. Bill Clinton. How much did he pay?
Like $800,000.
Yeah, $800,000. Because it's not a campaign contribution, you dweeb. I can't believe
Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Right. Michelle Lujan Grisham, the groping deal.
That was out of campaign funds.
Yes, it's not a campaign. And by the way, campaign finance says that you could do this. And if you allow the campaign finance guy to speak and testify at the trial, he'd have set all this straight.
That's why they didn't let him.
Because he could have set it all straight.
Yep.
It's crazy. KWMW Malchamore, 105.1 FM, BM, The Breakfast Club. Trump trial, one of the senior advisors from the Trump organization came out. Here's what he had to say about the trial.
You saw Joe Biden on Friday when he gave that press conference, and he was asked if he was behind this as he walked away, and he turned over his shoulder and gave that smile. That was the look of evil Howie. That was the look of someone who knew that they were behind this.
Yep, and Joe Biden was behind it, and he pushed for this along with the underlings, and all it's done is solidify the Republican Party. ABC this week, that's exactly what they said.
I'm like a lot of the folks out there
that think that when Alvin Bragg decided and said to the people of New York that he's in the best situation to go after Donald Trump because he's done it over 100 times to his kids, and that was one of the bases for his election, I think he made it political. Joe Biden made it political by sending Robert De Niro down here into Manhattan. So the Biden has chosen to make it political. The district attorney chose to make it political. And what's happening? What's happening is we've got an unbelievable united party. $53 million came in the door. I spoke to the chairman of the RNC yesterday. I spoke to President Trump yesterday, and I asked him, I said, is there anything that you're seeing right now, other than the headache of this conviction, that isn't going well in this campaign? And the answer is that this campaign, and where the Republicans are situated today, with Donald Trump as their candidate, is better today than it's ever been at any time that he's ever run for president.
Bam. Bam.
I saw a bunch of polls over the weekend, and most of them said Trump got about a 6-point bump in all battleground states.
Yep.
Yeah, he just won the election.
Crazy. All right.
Well, you still got months to go, Tom. Don't count your chickens for the
ways to go. All right, 610, be on the Breakfast Club, KWMW, Malgimore 105.1 FM. Price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Oilfield Cementers and Cud Energy Services. Together, they are hiring. They have a training program for service supervisors. Must have a CDL applied today. They're looking for diesel mechanics, electric technicians, equipment operator must have a CDL, and they're looking for experienced pressure pump hands. Housing is available if you need it. They are an equal opportunity employer, a drug-free employer. They offer one of the best benefit packages in the industry, and, of course, best pay in the industry also. Apply today, greatoilfieldjobs.com, or text Oilfield to 63566.
West Texas Intermediate, $76.96, 81.10 for Brent crude, and the price of natural gas is $2.67.
I don't know if you guys saw this, and I've talked about Pride Month earlier. U.S. Navy Special Forces page, their website, their Facebook page, has drawn some backlash as of late because the Navy has gone straight up woke. Navy SEALs are now woke, and I'm going to tell you who's not woke. Russia, China, they're not woke. They don't care. They really don't. But the backlash over the whole idea that dignity, service, respect, equity, and pride is listed on the Navy SEALs Facebook page has gotten people up in arms. And I will just say this much. I don't care. I don't care. If you are a gay sniper, I don't care.
It has zero to do with your ability to do the job.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. God bless you. I don't care. Does it have to be on Facebook? I mean, do we put heterosexual stuff?
No.
No. It's the same thing. Stop it. All right, taking out trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters, trash-eaters.com. Right now, they're offering to take care of all your waste hauling. If you're a residential and need somebody to go and take out all your trash, pick up your trash, they've got you covered. Maybe you're in a commercial facility and you need the big metal dumpsters or the 96-gallon polycarts, or you need the roll-off containers. Call Kayleen today. She can take care of you. 575-408-1719. Look, these guys are locally owned and operated. They try a lot harder than everybody else. They do. And they're veteran-owned and operated. Call Kayleen, 575-408-1719, trash-eaters.com. All right, we talked about polling numbers. New polling numbers immediate following the criminal conviction in New York found a significant number of Republicans say they are less likely to vote for Donald Trump in November. Really? 1 in 10 registered GOP voters said Trump's felony convictions for falsifying business records would make him less likely to support the president. According to Reuters, 2-day poll conducted hours after the trial. Poll shows a majority of Republicans, 56%, said the outcome of this case would have no effect on them. But 35% said it could affect their final decision.
Yeah,
I am calling BS.
It says 35% were even more likely to support him.
Yes.
So if you put those two numbers together, no outcome and more likely, 91%.
Oh. Yeah. So I don't see where they're getting that a significant number of Republicans are less likely to support him. Mm-mm. Where did that number come from, Blake?
I'm looking down through that whole Reuters survey, and it doesn't. I mean, it goes down to independent votes. It says 25% of independents said they were less likely, and 18% are more likely.
Right.
And half said no outcome. Then I go all the way down to these other numbers, and they start citing numbers by the month. And so I think they're comparing it to other months is what they're doing.
So, but the way the headline on Fox says, Trump's verdict makes significant number of Republicans less likely to vote for him.
Yeah, the story doesn't say that. The story says the opposite.
No, the story says completely the opposite. I'm taking out the trash. Fox, you guys have gone woke yourself. Just saying. All right, we got to take a break, Tom, quickly with the text, things that happened on this date in history on the way. We'll check the weather in just a second, Tom.
Or anybody who thinks that moral values have nothing to do with anything, you're an idiot, says the texter. And this is for you, Blake. Good morning, Blake. What is a battleground state? Please advise.
So battleground states are states that political parties have identified that are close contests and must win for the candidates.
Okay, thank you.
Tom, can you name the battleground states?
There are 6 of them.
I would say Ohio, Pennsylvania. That's where the oil is at, right?
Keep going.
It ain't Texas. It ain't New York.
Keep
it
going.
Ain't California. Michigan. That's where they make cars. And then I don't know the other 3.
I mean, back in the day, if it helps you, they called those swing states.
Yes. Yeah, battleground swing states.
Battleground swing states, they're all the same.
So Wisconsin, they're most of them are kind of in the Midwest. Most of them.
New Mexico, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll turn it red.
We're too far blue to be.
And
isn't Nevada?
Nevada is,
yeah.
Hey, Kevin, there's a new restaurant opening up in Carlsbad. It's going to serve Vietnamese and Filipino-style food. Any recommendations?
Cool.
I don't know anything about them.
No, I think they're asking for any Filipino
food
recommendations to eat when they go there.
Lumpas. They're good.
Lumpia.
Lumpas.
Yeah, don't listen to Tom. Listen to Kevin.
I love it because I eat them all the time. Lumpas, lumpity-dee. Go to Carlsbad, have something to eat.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, are you done?
You need to go sell them an ad.
717, we're going to qualify you for the cash. Had a winner on Friday.
Celia Ortega. Congratulations to her.
We are giving away more money. Some people are confusing us for Democrats. That's how much money we're giving away. Please don't make that comparison. Please don't. All right, 18 minutes after 7 p.m. The Breakfast Club on W105. Checking in with news being brought to you by Cold Brew Coffee Company. Cold Brew Coffee Company. Want to stay caffeinated? Fuel up today at Cold Brew Coffee Company. Cool thing is, they're in Hobbs, right there on East Navajo. And if you know where 2A Tactical is, they're right next door. They're right across the street from Tractor Supply. And they are the only true cold brew coffee company in Hobbs. And if you don't like coffee, they have Red Bull drinks to power you through the afternoon slump. They also have an awesome lunch and incredible sweets. They've got something for everybody. Swing by Cold Brew Coffee Company, 236 East Navajo Drive, Suite 1100, right across from Tractor Supply and next to 2A Tactical. You can find them on DoorDash if you need it delivered. And get in the Cold Brew Coffee Company. Amazing brews and bites are waiting for you. Let's check in, find out what's going on with news, things that happened on this date in history up next.
And I do have Smiley in this break, so you can find out what's happening.
Smiley.
I do.
Smiley will be very happy about that. We're going to keep you updated with everything going on. We'll qualify you for the cash. 719, be in the Breakfast Club.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now.
Call now.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Hunter Biden inside the courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware, for the first of two federal trials that start today for the president's son.
Prosecutors say that back when Hunter was trying to buy a gun in 2018, that he lied on a federal forum saying that he was not a drug user. Hunter's attorneys say they will challenge that assertion.
Fox's Rich Edson in Wilmington. Executive action on the border expected from President Biden.
The details of the big announcement are under wraps for now, but the AP reports the White House plans to shut off asylum requests and automatically deny entry to migrants each day on a daily basis once the number of people encountered by border officials reaches a set cap number.
Fox's Jillian Turner at the White House, the largest voter turnout in the history of Mexico, supporting Claudia Sheinbaum. She's the first female president of that nation. America's listening to Fox News.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A big June run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, yearlings, pairs, bred cows, light roping size calves. We expect to sell 1,450 head. Breaking down like this: 250, 275 weighing cows and bulls, 150, 175 pairs of bred cows, 1,000, 1050 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 70, 80 cow-calf pairs, several sets of young, middle-aged black and Charolais cross cows with good Angus Charolais cross calves inside. 35 bred cows at Adelante Farms and Ranch right here at Roswell. Excellent quality black Angus cows bred to 44 Farms bulls. These cows 4 to 6 years old, a really nice set of young bred cows. Several other sets of young and middle-aged bred cows bred to Angus and Charolais bulls. Also 4 Angus bulls, excellent quality, used one season, trick and fertility tested, ready to turn out. 21 calves, Jet Taylor, Pecos, Texas. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred calves, 275, 375 pounds. 53 calves, Miss Lacey Kane, Van Horn, Texas. Excellent quality Charolais crossbred cows. Calves really dried out, mostly roping size, 150, 300 pounds. 56 steers, B&B Livestock, Fort Hancock, Texas. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred steers. Cattle long time wean right off short wheat, 450, 700 pounds. Also 65 heifers from Fort Hancock. Excellent quality black white face. These are yearlings right off short wheat, 500, 750 pounds. 94 calves, the Stockton Ranch, Dexter, New Mexico. Good quality 90% black white face Angus cross calves. Cattle wean 100 plus days, 2 rounds of shots, medium condition, right off short wheat, 400, 550 pounds. 56 calves, Gresham Ranch, Portales, New Mexico. Good quality black white face Charolais crossbred calves. Cattle wean 90 days, 2 rounds of shots, right off some short wheat, 375, 500 pounds. 52 calves, Mr. Philip Holcomb, Alamogordo, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face, red white face English crossbreds. Triangle 10, 7-way Somnus, thin condition, 400, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows, 10:45 to 11. Be selling calves and yearlings around 12 o'clock noon. We expect to sell 1,450 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
Most people gamble. They visit a casino, buy a lottery ticket, play an online game. But for a few, gambling becomes more than fun. It becomes a problem, an addiction, just like a drug or alcohol addiction. Free and confidential help and treatment is available, funded by Responsible Gaming Association of New Mexico. A toll-free hotline, 888-696-2440, is available 24 hours a day. Find help at rganm.org.
I'm Danae Robinette Mills, and I'm running for state representative because I've seen the damage that Santa Fe can do to our community. As a local attorney with experience in policy and law under the Trump administration, I understand what regulation does to businesses and that we need a strong advocate that's going to fight back against Santa Fe. Early voting is now open, and I would appreciate your support in the Republican primary for state representative in District 62. I'm Danae Robinette Mills, and I approve this message. Paid for by DRM4NM.
What happened to Larry Scott?
What do you mean?
Larry's attacking his opponent over a water violation that resulted in no monetary fine, while Scott himself has over 10 state violations for his personal business.
That sounds hypocritical.
Right? And Larry's attacking others for receiving an appointment from Michelle Lujan Grisham. But he tried to get that same appointment from her and called himself a moderate in his job application to get it.
Wow. If the appointment was so bad, why did Larry apply for it?
There's more. Larry joined Michelle Lujan Grisham to give free health care to illegals, then said it was to keep rural hospitals open.
Yeah, right.
And he's voted to raise taxes 8 times, but in 10 years in Santa Fe has never even sponsored a bill on border security. But, of course, now that it's campaign season, he's talking tough on the border.
Seriously? What's happened to Larry?
After 10 years in Santa Fe, it's clear Larry has lost his way.
It's settled. I'm voting for Senator McCutcheon. Paid for by Stephen McCutcheon for Senate.
Now back to a good, wholesome, politically correct. Oops, sorry. Wrong show.
Attention, this is your announcer. You're waking up to be in the Breakfast Club. You want to be part of the show? Call 877-396-W105.
I can assure you he is truly a very sick boy.
877-396-W105. We are B and the Breakfast Club. National anthem and the pledge still to come. We'll get you updated with that. 727. Tomorrow is election day, so we are encouraging you to please get out and vote.
Yes.
Things that happen on this date in history still to come. New report coming out. 5,800 mail carriers are tagged by dogs last year.
Wow.
But 500 more hair-raising incidents than there were in 2022. And that just counts for Commander Biden. Yeah.
Yeah, his hackles are always up.
He's that dog. Looks like Philadelphia man visiting Maryland for a friend's party made a stop for beverages and scored a $162,000 lottery prize.
Holy crap.
It was his first time he stopped for beer and actually did not lead to something bad. Congratulations. 4 members of ABBA were knighted over the weekend in Sweden.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, so they're knights in Sweden.
Yep. And The Border, Willie Nelson's 152nd album, landed last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It was his 75th solo studio album. And the National Spelling Bee. Of the 35 National Spelling Bee champions since 1999, 29 were Indian Americans, including the latest winner.
Wow.
Little 12-year-old Bamut Soma of Tampa, Florida.
Huh.
Those Indian kids can spell.
Yes.
I could play the soundbite about Joe Biden talking about 7-Elevens, but I won't.
Right?
I could.
An idiot.
I could play that. But they're very good spellers. They're very, very smart. And I think part of that is helicopter parents.
And the education system. You know, I mean, here where we're basically giving up.
No, these are kids living. These are kids living in America. Indian kids living in America.
Mm. They ain't got no TV.
Well, that's true. Well, I don't know about the TV thing, but yeah, their parents make sure that they're learning.
Oh, I mean, just
imagine the parents being involved.
Yeah, right. And to me, I would want to be out playing because the smell of curry. I'm not staying inside, Mom. I can't stay inside another moment.
Well, I mean, if you like Indian food, then you're going to like it. If not, then you're not.
Looks like President Trump could be banned from traveling to the UK and Canada and other countries after the guilty verdict.
How does that go?
Shut up. Under the UK law, a felon can visit Ireland and Scotland with restrictions. However, Britain can bar access to convicted felons. Same thing in Canada.
Okay.
Trump had no desire to go there anyway. I mean, he might go to Ireland because he still owns a Gulf. I think he still owns it. Scotland.
Yeah.
And Ireland. Crazy. New Mexico judge denies Meta the request to dismiss that lawsuit. The Santa Fe judge shot down the motion by Meta, the company behind the Facebook and Instagram, to dismiss a sweeping lawsuit filed by the New Mexico Department of Justice. Attorney General Raul Torres filed that lawsuit last year. And it's all about sexual exploitation of kids on Facebook and Instagram. So the judge in Santa Fe said, no, we're not throwing that out. Congratulations, Mexico. You now have your first female president ever, Claudia Sheinbaum, president of Mexico.
She'll be making tortillas in the kitchen.
If you're watching on camera, Tom,
what?
Hey, do you know anything about
Hang on, let me get
Mexico?
Let me get
I mean, serious. Do you know anything about Mexico?
There you go.
Well, a few things.
The elitists do not make tortillas. There are two classes of people.
Brown skin and light skin?
No.
What is it? Well, all the novellas I ever watched, the
very poor
servants were brown.
The elitist rich. They're the middle class is small.
There ain't no middle class.
Did you just miss what he just said about all the novellas that he watches?
Oh my God.
Well, the servants are brown like me.
And it used to tick me off when I go to Mexico and the elitists would treat the poor working class like peasants.
Right.
But congratulations, Claudia, or as they might say it in Mexico, Claudia. Congratulations, first female. How's that work with machismo, Tom?
That ain't gonna work.
You don't think that's gonna work?
No.
Well, he already told you she needs to get back in the kitchen and make tortillas. That's what he said.
Well, we're going to see how that works. She was elected.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. There is a breaking point. Donald Trump says, send me to jail.
Yep.
Send me to jail. Put me on house arrest. Whatever.
Well,
whatever.
I think he's right. I think that with this there's a point that people are just going to say enough is enough.
Yep.
Now,
so there is a breaking point.
And we have proven that that breaking point is a long way down the road. We'll bend a long way before we break.
Yeah.
But they're pushing closer and closer to it.
Yep. Here's what to know about the federal trial. Hunter Biden. Jury selection begins today. They are going to concentrate on this relationship that Hunter Biden had with his brother's widow. Now, there are also talks that he was actually seeing his brother's wife before his brother died.
Well, that would speak to his character, don't you think?
And her character.
Yeah. But I mean, and you know, Joe thinks Hunter, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So
smartest man I know. Yeah. Smartest man. Man has been convicted in connection with a rape over 20 years ago. Esteban Sandoval, convicted in 2002. Police claimed he raped a 17-year-old at a house party. He was found guilty of criminal sexual penetration. So they're working all these backlog cases, and they make the arrests, and he has been convicted of a case. Zelensky has a message to Trump. Tom, what do you think's the message to Trump?
You're going to jail.
Really? That's what you think?
Yeah, because he ain't going to fund him once he gets in office.
You really think
he said you don't want to become a loser president.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that name?
Really? Shut up.
But he said that only if he forces a peace deal between Russia and the Ukraine.
I mean, you are no better than a street beggar.
Right.
Continuously going back and asking for more money.
Well, he was a stand-up comedian.
He was. And Donald Trump will not put up with this silliness. All right, Caitlin Clark, who could play in the NBA, right, Tom?
That's what I said,
I mean,
yes.
She's getting slapped around like a rag doll. She's getting thrown around like a rag doll. Do you believe she could still play?
Yes.
In the NBA?
Well, we're throwing her around, too, over there.
That's my point, Tom. That's my point.
Which is?
That playing in the NBA, I mean, she's getting thrown around by a bunch of other girls. And the NBA,
but them girls don't like her, man.
No.
There's
straight up racism going on.
Right.
I'm going to call it what it is. And you know what they need to do? And I think Caitlin Clark needs to take some of that shoe money and go to Europe and find a Bill Laimbeer type of player. I'm talking about a big European player that will just take people's heads off.
Yep, good enforcer. That's what you need. Bring hockey to basketball.
And what has happened? What has ever happened to her teammates? She's the star. They ought to be taking care of her. What has happened?
She's the all-American girl next door.
Is she?
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's the all-American girl next door.
I wouldn't say that either.
Oh, well, she's not lesbian, is she?
What does that have to do with anything?
What does that have to do with
hate
anything?
her because she's straight, man.
Oh my gosh.
Not all players in the NBA are lesbian, Tom.
I didn't say all of them.
Fewer than half.
That's not why they hate her. They hate her because Nike gave her that big contract. But let me just say, most of you in the WNBA, nobody would know your name without Caitlin Clark.
Right. I agree
You
with
would
you on
still
that
be flying commercial, and you have no charter flights without a Caitlin Clark. And the same thing in the NBA. I am so tired of the former players talking crap about the white players. The two best players in the league, Tom, who are they?
WNBA?
No, the NBA.
I would have to say the Dallas Mavericks, Jokic, and Kyle Irving.
And Kyle Irving. Who would be the third?
I'd have to say it would be One of the Boston Celtics.
From Phoenix.
Oh, Kevin Durant.
No.
Booker?
I'm talking about the
Doesn't
other
Durant
player.
still play in Oklahoma? No.
I'm talking about the other player, that the white player.
Oh, the white player.
Yeah. I mean, all these European players, look, their style of play is different, but that doesn't mean they're great players. Do you know?
They share a lot.
They share a lot.
What does that mean?
Well, it means they're
mean
not
they're
selfish.
team players?
They're very, very team-oriented, if they are.
Is that what you're saying, Tom?
They have an open shot. If they got a better shot underneath, they'll throw the ball underneath an open player.
Luka is probably, look, you take Luka's numbers and you compare them to a LeBron James.
Right.
You know who has better numbers?
Luka.
Yes. So that's the other player I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay.
So, but the Indiana Fever needs an enforcer is what they need. All right, Tom on the text, 20 minutes away from 7, national anthem and the pledge still to come. Things that happen on this date in history, 877-396-W105.
Man, Tom cannot stop saying stupid stuff this morning. The texter says he must have taken an extra dose of dumb ASS this morning. That says the texter.
You're talking about that's every day.
Did he double up on his dumb ASS pills today? Another texter is saying. And somebody needs to take his Mexican card, says the other texter.
Right.
And Kevin, is it true that the Mexico lady won? Yeah, we talked about it earlier. She won the presidency of New Mexico.
Yeah, and there were two Mexican
women.
Ladies.
Yep.
Right?
And they were 1-2.
Wow.
They finished 2.
Well, let's see what they can do.
And Tom said she needs to get back in the kitchen and make tortillas.
Make tortillas, right. With cinnamon and butter. Ooh, those are good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she's willing to make you some cinnamon. She's elitist, Tom. She's not cooking in the kitchen.
Tom tripling down.
Right. And Mark from Roswell says the other player he was thinking about was Larry Bird.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that playing today.
Yeah,
and for whatever reason, Charles Barkley and none of those players, they don't like these two. It's a different brand of basketball.
Definitely is. And another text says,
but Luka actually plays like a black dude. He's a white guy that's got attitude.
Yes, very good. He had 2-game winners in that series against Minnesota.
Yes.
So, and be on the NMAA, the Albuquerque and the NMAA need to quit treating us like stepchildren. We support and we feed them. Amen to that. Says the text.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the big picture, I could say the same thing in Louisiana. Louisiana and New Mexico about the same size. So the northern schools in Louisiana, like Evangeline Christian, they've been the state champions. I mean, they divided that up. So Christian schools no longer play against
Christian
against the public schools. It was like that for a long time. But for years, the northern schools had to travel to New Orleans to play for the state championship game.
I just figured something out.
What?
They got to bring all these people into New Orleans so they can support the crime there.
Yes,
and in
of
New
course.
Mexico, they want everybody to go to Albuquerque for the same reason.
Mike, you're on to something.
Right.
You're definitely on to something.
All right. Original Tom A. Hater said, there is no stadium better than the Bulldog Bowl. Great to be a Bulldog. It is a great stadium.
It is a great stadium.
So is
It
Hobbs,
is.
so is Roswell, so is Carlsbad, so is Carlsbad. An all-state championship game should be played at the top seat stadium, says Patrick this morning.
No, the championship game needs to be a neutral location. I agree with that.
Right. I agree with that. But I don't know about Albuquerque.
Or have it at state, have it in Cruces.
Look,
I'm just saying.
there are some Texas schools just across the state line that have stadiums that are better than.
Don't ever mention that.
Right.
They will never go for that. Nope. All right, national anthem and the pledge coming up in just a second. I'll keep you updated. I'll check the weather. Things that happen on this date in history being brought to you by 2A Firearms, Tactical Firearms, and the Endor Firing Range, 236 East Navajo in Hobbs. Look, they are veteran-owned and veteran-operated. They have a large selection of guns, They also have a state-of-the-art indoor firing range. If you'd like to get out there and shoot, they have the firing range. You can buy a monthly membership or pay by the hour. They also have the Milo FBI training simulator. Look, this is more than just your regular gun shop. They have a huge selection of ammo, guns, optics. They have grunt-style clothing. If you're looking for lessons, they offer one-on-one lessons or group setting for first-time gun owners. Find out more information. It's 2A Tactical Firearms in the Indoor Firing Range, 236 East Navajo in Hobbs, 2A Tactical Range.com. Dutch West India Company received a charter for a place called the New Netherlands in 1621. Tom, that later they changed the name to
New York.
Scores one. Casey at Bat, the poem, and 1888 was published for the first time. San Francisco Daily Examiner.
And then the Grateful Dead took it and made it into a song.
By the way, he struck out. I'm sorry to be a spoiler alert. Duke of Windsor gave up his throne for a woman that he loved.
He did.
In 1937. She was pounding on the bathroom door for over half an hour, yelling, "Aren't you done in there already?" Oh, it wasn't that throne. Okay. Battle of Midway began in World War II in 1942. 200-inch reflecting telescope was put up on in California in 1948. Palomar Mountain Observatory. Dragnet radio drama hit the airwaves in 1948, broadcast on the radio. And Tom, the main character was?
Jack Webb.
That was the actor.
He was Sergeant
Friday,
right.
No, I thought it was Thursday.
No, the case happened on a Thursday, but they planned it on a Tuesday.
Democratic presidential candidate Bill Clinton played his saxophone on Arsenio Hall in 1992. Seems like a long time ago. By the way, his advisors told him no sax during the campaign, and he thought they said sex, and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" National Donut Day going on today.
I got a good another history piece for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
In 1946, Jacques Heim, fashion designer in France, debuted a two-piece bathing suit in Paris.
Wow.
Called it the Bikini, after the Bikini Atoll Islands in the South Pacific.
That's
Tom, I know you've tried on women's clothing before. Have you ever tried on a bikini?
Come on now. I didn't go that far.
No, you just stuck with panties.
Well, you put on a pair of panties and a bra. I mean, that's enough, bro.
No, it was a thong, so get it right.
They didn't have thongs back in the day. And by God, I can't get that image. Oh, hail damage.
It was a honeymoon, man. Come on, you do stupid things.
No, you don't do stupid things. You do romantic things.
Yes.
She came out of the bathroom. She's like, "Who the hell is this cross-dresser I just married?"
In my underwear.
That was romantic.
Yes. And you stretched them. Anderson Cooper is 57. Singer Dan Hill was 70. Tom, Dan Hill he was a one-hit wonder.
He was.
In the 70s. Name the song.
He actually had two songs, but this one I remember the most. He said a song was, I forgot it.
No, you remember it so much.
Come on. Sometimes when we touch.
Sometimes when we touch. Great romantic song.
Yes.
You can wear a thong.
Sometimes when we touch, I just jump up and go put on your underwear. Denise Williams had several songs. One of them from a movie. She's 73. Name the song.
Here Come the Boys.
Close.
Let's hear it for the boy.
All right, what's the name of it?
What movie was it?
Football movie, wasn't it?
No, it was Beverly Hills
No, it
Cop.
wasn't. It was Footloose.
Oh, Footloose.
Was it?
And Susie Quattro was at a TV show back in the day. She also had a couple songs. She was on Happy Days. Name the character, Tom.
She was Fonzie's girlfriend. Cha-cha.
No.
Chicha.
No.
Chicha. Chicha.
She was Leather Tescadero.
Oh, it's in there.
She turned 74 today. Had a song called Stumbling In.
Late 70s.
Stumbling in, stumbling in.
And Ian Hunter is 85 years old. Had a song, Tom.
Don't remember.
Could it be All the Old Dudes, I believe?
Oh.
Or maybe I made that up.
All the young dudes, right?
I know, but he's 85 years old now. So, all right, 877-396-W105B on the Breakfast Club. Looks like students left unsure about their future at UT as the DEI programs go away. Today is the last day. Well, Friday was the last day. Friday marked the final day of diversity, equity, and inclusion offices and programs open and available at University of Texas. The doors are set to close, and they're going to put a padlock on them. And many students are very upset. They don't know how they're going to get by now without DEI. Just study harder and understand that nothing should be given to you based on the color of your skin. I don't care if you're white, brown, black, Asian, or whatever. Nothing should be given to you based on the color of skin.
No.
You know what? Yeah, grades. What if it was, we're not going to decide on color of skin? It's going to be based on if you're pretty or not pretty. Think about it. So ugly people would get no benefits, even if they had the best grades. How would that make you feel?
Well,
you would be an ugly mutt.
It would depend on if you're the ugly one or not. I
Right.
guess.
Well, yes, of course. And by the way, there are several jobs that will not exist in 50 years. Tom, you're not going to believe this. U.S. employment. New poll came out. They say in 50 years, a lot of jobs will not exist.
Such as?
You know what was one of the top jobs?
No.
Farm laborers will not exist. Taxi car drivers will not exist.
Well, they're banking on auto driving cars. And
So
piloted
what are
tractors.
two jobs that people do, a lot of people do, when they come to the country, Tom?
What did your dad do, Tom?
They go out in the field.
So that would be gone.
Yep.
Cab drivers, gone.
I know a shortcut.
Convenience stores, gone. As far as workers. All of that will be automated.
How are you going to automate a cashier at a convenience store?
Well, because you press what you want, it goes down into the little hopper. You pay for your items, it releases the items, and you bag your own.
I don't see that taking off.
Well, you know, we're already doing it. You know, our old GM way back today when I interviewed Dakota Roswell, we talked about the radio business, and he said, I guarantee you in 25 years, brick and mortars will be gone, and we'll be doing what B's doing.
What are you talking about? I was the GM.
No, but the one.
Well, you said it, B.
But not the Roswell GM, but the Hobbs GM.
All right, we got to get updated, find out what's going on with the weather. It's going to be very, very hot. Whew, very hot. Checking the weather this morning being brought to you by Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without Maine Trailer Sales. Fifth wheels, toy haulers, RVs, they've got you covered. MaineTrailerSalesInc.com, 575-622-1751. MaineTrailerSalesInc.com. Take the virtual tour today. 100 for the high today and very little wind by this afternoon. About 68 tonight and 101 tomorrow with 10-mile-an-hour winds throughout the week. We're hovering very close to 100. All right, Tom, quickly to the text so we can get to the national anthem and the pledge.
All right. This is a request by text. Tom, can you sing Happy Birthday to my son, Albert Sanchez, turned 17 today?
Happy birthday.
Well, he wants me to sing.
No.
Happy birthday.
This is a two-thirds majority here. Say no.
And I'm running very late, so if you could just read the text for me.
All right, so he turned 17 today. Sorry, Albert. They won't let me do it.
No, happy birthday. We appreciate you.
Happy
Love
birthday.
You. And, guys, did you see the pro-Palestine protesters crash an LGBTQ party?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
The texter's asking?
No, he's talking about the two protest parades that clashed. There was a pride parade and the pro-Hamas terrorist chanting.
And guys, Ricky and Hobbs says, can you please stop talking about Tom wearing those thongs? I mean, I'm trying to eat breakfast this morning. He's saying this morning. And I don't think she wanted that thong back, says the texter. Okay.
There weren't even thongs back when you got married.
84,
Tom.
sure
Well,
was.
he made it a thong.
There were no thongs in 1984.
Look,
Damn, we're not.
It was probably one of those, how they were kind of bikini type, and he just pulled it up in the back and made it a thong.
That's nasty. That's nasty. This texter says on the state championship.
That was for you, Ricky.
State championship should be neutral site as close to one halfway between as possible, says the texter. Neutral site. I get you. But that ain't going to happen, I don't think. And there you go, B.
All right, national anthem and the pledge this morning being brought to you by our friend. Since she was 19 years of age with Farmers Insurance Agents, 40-plus years later, still helping people, still going strong. And part of the reason she continues to do so well is that, when we have a hailstorm coming through and you need to talk to a human being, Rebecca Long is there for you. Yeah, she'll walk you through the process. 575-393-2661. She loves helping people. Give her a call. You've been thinking about shopping your insurance around? Call her. She can bundle all your insurance together to save you a lot of money. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance, recreational vehicles, and more. 575-393-2661. Rebecca Long at 575-393-2661. Proud sponsor of the national anthem and the pledge.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and I'm from College Lane Elementary, and I'm going to be saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
KWMW Malmsbury 105.1 FM. Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Jude Oil, reminding you God is in control.
For our Father in heaven, he gives us all the goodness for the peace, and he gives us to unite us as people, we pray.
Hi, my name is Jose Luebno. I work for Jude Oil. Would you please join us in saying the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Straight up 8 o'clock, we're going to keep you updated with everything going on this morning. Check out the weather. It's going to be extremely hot. Triple digits today. Weather being brought to you by Zia Guns, 1907 North Main and Roswell. Over 1,000 firearms in stock, handguns, rifles, shotguns, and more. They can tune up your bow. They can find you the right gun. Trade in your old gun to get a better gun. And ladies, if you've been thinking about getting some personal protection to protect yourself, go in the Zia Guns. They have lethal and non-lethal personal protection. Stop in and see the expert staff today. 1907 North Main in Roswell. Closed Saturday. Always open on Sunday. Check out the weather. 100 today. Ooh. Extreme heat. And winds are going to be about 15 miles an hour or less this morning. But by this afternoon, they're going to be even less than that. 66 tonight. And then tomorrow, a little wind, 10-mile-an-hour winds, but 101 and extreme heat throughout the rest of the week. Let's get updated with all the news being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm. Luke Ragsdale, reminding you that if you've been injured, you need to give him a call. 575-208-5300. Settling big cases out in the patch, a $10 million case, $9 million case, and a medical malpractice case. Also settling car accidents, slip and falls, and more. If you've been injured, call Luke Ragsdale. And if you need somebody to defend you in the court of law, call Luke, 575-208-5300, RagsdaleLawFirm.com. Let's qualify you for the cash. We'll check in with News W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest on W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. Here's what's happening. A Portales, New Mexico man sentenced for crimes related to child abuse and attacking officers. He pled guilty in March this year. 29-year-old Alfonso Perez accused of 2 incidents, as a result charged with multiple felonies such as abuse of a child, 4 counts of battery, and a peace officer. First happened in February of 2022 when he reportedly became angry with a 7-year-old child. Police say he beat that child with a Louis Vuitton belt. Later, the child's grandmother noticed purple bruises all over the body. It was reported Perez charged for the incident in June of that same year while awaiting trial for the child abuse case when he tried to fight jailers at the jail. 3 officers were struck. A taser was knocked out of one of their hands. He faces charges for that. As a property owner, imagine one day discovering squatters occupying your land or house. What would you do? Lee County Attorney John Caldwell recommends property owners who have squatters on their land to call the Lee County Sheriff's Office and allege criminal trespass. Lee County Sheriff Corey Heldon also recommends calling LCSO as soon as possible. The definition of a squatter is someone who was occupying an abandoned or vacant property without permission from the owner of that property. Police suspect foul play after a Carlsbad man missing since December last year found dead in a remote area of Eddy County. 23-year-old Bill Kemmerer was identified Friday after an autopsy performed on the remains. He was first reported missing by family members December 4th last year. He was last seen days earlier. Kemmerer's body was found May 17th near the intersection of Bounds Road and Black River Village Road. Investigators did notify Kemmerer's family of the positive ID of the body. That's what's happening. I'm Jim Miller, MTD Radio News.
This is Senator Stephen McCutcheon. When I launched this campaign, I promised that I would always defend our way of life. This has been a tough race. During the course of this campaign, members of my family have been attacked, and I've been called everything but a child of God. But I've never been attacked on my record. This race isn't about me. It's about you. And that's why I fight every day. As your senator, I'm proud that I fought and won against the Santa Fe swamp. Never voting to raise your taxes, delivering $70 million to fix Highway 128, leading on border security, and putting forth the first policy plan to combat illegal immigration by Republicans in New Mexico in over a decade. That means cracking down on fentanyl dealers and providing law enforcement officers with more resources on the border. I stood up for oil and gas jobs against the radical left and against Michelle Lujan Grisham's attacks on the Second Amendment, earning the NRA endorsement along the way. And that's in just 6 months. Imagine what we can do together in 4 years. Paid for by Stephen McCutcheon for Senate.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
This is Justin Wilson, candidate for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. I'm a rancher and small business owner providing dirt work services in the oil field. I know the importance of industry in our county and the challenges of working together. Being raised on a ranch, I have very conservative values, putting God first, family second, followed by our constitutional rights. I will stand strong to defend our rights and ways of life. Road maintenance and transparency is of utmost importance in the county. I am Justin Wilson, asking for your vote June 4th for Eddy County Commissioner, District 3. Paid for by Committee J. Wilson, County Commissioner.
This is Deanne Kimbrough, and I'm running for Lee County Commissioner, District 1. Early voting has already started, and it's important that you get out and vote in the primaries, as this race will be decided there. I'm a lifelong Republican and everything that stands for, and I'm asking for your vote, Deanne Kimbrough, Lee County Commissioner, District 1.
Paid for by the committee to elect Deanne Kimbrough, Junior Hernandez, Treasurer.
Everyone is a kid at Cliffs.
I'm a Cliffs kid.
My mom was a Cliffs kid. My dad was a Cliffs kid. My brother and sister are Cliffs kids.
Even my grandma was a Cliffs kid.
Be a kid. Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Over 30 rides and attractions makes Cliffs a blast for everyone. You never have to choose at Cliffs. You get it all.
Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Be one with fun.
You're back! You're back! I have a gun! I will fucking shoot you!
This is Anissa Tinnen. That's the 911 tape where you hear me shoot a 5-time repeat felon that broke into my home here in New Mexico and threatened me and my granddaughter. I was terrified, but what's also terrifying is that Governor Lujan Grisham is attacking our Second Amendment rights. The same Governor Lujan Grisham who handpicked Steve McCutcheon to fill a vacant state Senate seat. Later, McCutcheon told the Roswell newspaper on September 23rd that he was undecided on supporting a special session to impeach Grisham for signing away the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. McCutcheon relented only after all other Republicans had already agreed. That's why I support Larry Scott for state Senate. Larry has a career-long A rating from the NRA after hundreds of pro-Second Amendment votes over 10 years. Send the governor a message that you're not undecided about gun rights. Vote Larry Scott for state Senate, because the next victim could be you.
Paid for by Our Values PAC.
Now, back to the show. Until the liberals censor this show, we're on the air and broadcasting.
The pain in my ass.
Call or text now. 877-396-W105 to talk to B in the Breakfast Club.
Another day in paradise, 809. Chicago, they are not happy with the governor. they are not happy with the mayor. But they're not happy. They are not happy at all. And that's why they're backing Donald Trump. Listen to this.
Brandon Johnson is committed to making sure that black people in this city knows that he does not respect us. We have a man over here from Elgin, Illinois. Elgin. He is not from the 29th Ward. He is not from the 29th Ward. He did not grow up in my neighborhood, in our neighborhood. We have people out here that have been standing 50 years who have flipped, and now we're holding Trump signs because of Brandon Johnson.
Oh, they're holding Trump signs.
Good.
I'm telling you.
So, but they're seeing through it.
They're seeing all the promises.
Mm-hmm.
The Democratic Party has been promising them.
Well,
they're
and they're
not getting it.
They're finally starting to see that the Democratic Party only uses them.
Yep. That's it. Rush Limbaugh said it right before he passed. The great Rush Limbaugh. This is back before the last election, before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what Rush Limbaugh had to say.
Desperately want Trump gone, and I know that they desperately want it codified, that Trump cannot run again, because make no mistake, they remain scared to death of you, and they remain scared to death of Trump. Trump, 75 million, 80 million votes, and I'm going to tell you, you're not going anywhere. Even if Trump does, you're not. They can't separate you from Trump. And more importantly, they can't separate you from the ideas. They can't separate you from MAGA. They can't separate you from Make America Great Again, which I think remains one of our big campaign strengths going forward. They believe that they can destroy this bond that exists between you and Trump if they somehow make Trump look bad, make Trump look like a reprobate, embarrass you about Trump. They can't do it because you came before Trump.
Tom, what does that mean? I know you got that big college education. What does that mean, codify?
Well, he's almost back, but not quite yet. So,
damn.
I know. We went through that whole thing just so you could ask.
I mean, really. Speed your butt up. Answer the phones in the studio.
Well, that would mean that he would have to walk around the counter instead of walking to the back.
No, we could move the phone.
Yeah, I can put it up there.
So, Tom, what does that word mean, codify?
He's still not back.
Oh, my Lord. Are you kidding me?
No. I thought I heard him shuffling this way, but there he is. Come on, Tom, get in here. He keeps asking you a question. All right, now he's got his headphones on. Now he's got his mic up.
Had to go to the little boy's room.
Really, bro?
Yeah. Oh, man, you got to go, dude. Really?
Codify. What does that word mean?
Codify means that you're cuddling everybody. Yes. Yes.
College damn degree.
Yes. Codify means you're cuddling.
Yes, I told you. Hello.
Thank you.
That was
a resort town in Spain is attempting to calm tourists. Roddy Bachelor and Bachelorette Party has banned blow-up dolls and giant blow-up penises from being displayed in public. If you want to see that stuff, you go to Vegas, okay? We're not going to have it here in Spain.
I've been to Ibiza. That's an interesting thing.
By the way,
they have parties there. Let me tell you.
The groom is very upset. I mean, the bride is very upset, I should say. That was her last hope of seeing a giant penis.
Oh, my.
Garfield movie beat out Mad Max Saga. What's that one called, Blake? Furiosa?
Yeah, that's what Tom called it.
Furiosa.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Garfield.
So why
was like-
are they making Mad Max movies that don't have Mad Max in them?
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it? But Garfield beat out Mad Max.
It either. Well, because it's not a Mad Max movie. It's just a same setting.
Right.
But they're doing what Kathleen Kennedy is doing to the Star Wars franchise, and they take all the male heroes out and make them subservient, and all the female heroes are more masculine and no more, and they're better than all the men.
So it's like living in Europe. Okay, I got it. All right.
But instead of having a balanced cast, you can have really strong female characters.
Sure.
People like that. But just balance it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Warrior Princess was around a long time ago. Nicole Kidman is thanking Jodie Foster for replacing her in the 2002 movie Panic Room, as Nicole had to drop out because she was having a major breakdown. By the way, who played Jodie Foster, daughter in the film? Who played? That was Kristen Stewart, wasn't it? Yes.
Must have been old.
Yeah, I think that's who it was. And move over to turducken. Tom, what's a turducken?
Crazy duck.
That cuddles.
Right.
Trendy
All
New
right.
York restaurant.
Here you go,
is
Tom.
offering...
I'm going to explain this to you.
Tell me.
You take a duck, you put it inside a chicken, and you take that and you put it inside a turkey. And you have a turducken.
A turducken. So a New York a restaurant in New York is actually doing a chobster, which is a grilled, roasted chicken stuffed with the head of a Maine lobster.
Oh.
And by the way, it's $250 for that.
Wow.
I don't think that would even go together. That's just me.
Fish and chicken.
I'm surprised, honestly, that Tom didn't know what a turducken was.
Because
that was really made popular by John Madden.
It was. The richest comedian in the world. Who's the richest comedian in the world?
You mean besides the president of the Ukraine?
Yes, yeah, that guy.
I'm going to say Kevin Hart.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Still?
His net worth is $900 million. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld.
The interesting thing, that is the number 2 guy, honestly.
George Lopez.
Matt Stone.
Man, really, I've never heard of him.
Who?
Matt Stone.
Who?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that he also works with Matt Groening on The Simpsons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but is that really a comedian?
No, not really.
Yeah.
So if you go straight up with that, you got Byron Allen is next.
Really?
Yeah, with $800 million.
Wow. Byron Allen?
Never heard of him either.
What has that guy done lately?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. All right, Eric Trump talks about how much money they raised. By the way, keep finding them guilty. Keep finding them guilty. People were just pulling money. They were going in the yard. 10 cans. There's one. Hey, baby, don't we have like $200 hidden over here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's in the community coffee can in the backyard? Okay, I'm going to go get that. Eric Trump talks about how much money was raised after the guilty jury came out.
Might be a little inside information, but as I was leaving my house about 37 seconds ago, I asked my wife, what are we up to now? And she said, just in terms of small dollar, we're well over $70 million. This is $21 donations, $43 donations, right? Small dollar donations. If you add the large dollar donations to it, you're over $200 million. But you're over $70 million. And by the way, Maria, 30% of those people have never been seen before by a political party, right? I mean, these are Americans who are pissed off.
Yeah, just let that sink in. These people have never given to a campaign in their lives.
Wow.
$200 million.
Now, if you want to talk about waking a sleeping giant.
Boy, you ain't lying.
You done pissed them off. Yeah. Blake, we talked about transgenders that are not transitioned yet, living in female prisons.
Correct.
Where could that go wrong? I'm just trying to wait. You got a guy, and he is the only guy living in a female prison.
Who is locked in with females who cannot escape.
Yes. Here's this guy. He's like 6'3".
And
he's a biological man.
Usually those ones are the convicted rapists and things of that nature. Assault.
So this transgender identifying as a woman in California, convicted of a lengthy criminal violence,
right?
And they put him in a women's facility, is going back to the men's prison. They have decided, look, it didn't work.
Well, how many women did he assault while in the women's prison?
Well,
several.
It is his third strike for rape.
Mm.
I mean, he's only raped 3 women. I mean, he's a biological man who identifies as a woman and faces 2 forcible rape charges, and then he's got another charge against him. I mean, how many women should he be able to rape before they transfer him back with the guys? I mean, is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Oh, 3 strikes. So he gets to rape 3 women. This is nuts.
Should be 0.
Maybe you should come up with a new plan. If you have a penis, you're locked in with the guys.
Yes.
No penises in a women's prison.
All for that. Yep.
Wow.
That's pretty creative thinking there, Kevin.
Wow. I surprised myself, Blake. I did. Wow. I was totally surprised. The View host, Sonny Holstein, predicts that Trump will be imprisoned at Rikers.
Wishful thinking.
Man, every time I hear her name, I think, wow, what a cow.
Oh, but Blake, her daughter graduated high school over the weekend and carried a sign, anti-Israeli sign.
Oh, go
a
figure.
Pro-Hamas sign. How about that?
So she's pro-terrorist, and she hates America, obviously.
Yes. Well, I mean, so does her mom. Chuck Schumer booed during a speech at the Israeli parade. Look, he's Jewish.
Yep.
But does not stand up for Jewish people except to go to that damn parade. And I will say this. I don't think we ought to be having parades to salute other countries.
Nope.
If you want to have a Jewish parade, I think that's acceptable. If you want to have a Hispanic parade, I think that's acceptable. But when we have a parade that is saluting another country, I'm not good with that.
Right.
I'm not good with that, and I'm pro-Israeli. I don't think that we should have like a Mexican parade or a Filipino parade in America. You know what? We have a problem in America with pride, American pride. Let's fix that before we have pride in other countries. There is nothing the matter with you remembering your heritage, but your ultimate love should be the one that pays the bills.
Yep.
The one that educates your kids. Just saying. So, yes, I am for Israel, but I don't think we ought to be having a Israel parade. And by the way, this parade's been going on for a long, long time. All right, by the way, speaking of immigrant-friendly, Albuquerque City Council addresses them becoming immigrant-friendly. We're going to get to that coming up this morning. Tom, we're going to get to the text coming up. Also, we got the boob of the day. We got to take another break. Our number 877-396-W105. Morning show, by the way, this message paid for by David Trujillo. He's running as a Republican for County Commissioner, District 1 in Lee County. David is a veteran, has served 15 years for this country. He is also a member of the oil and gas industry, has worked out in the patch for about 17 years. And for the last 20 years or so has been either city commissioner, mayor, or mayor pro tem in Lovington. Continues to fight for Lovington. Continues to fight and go up to Santa Fe and get that capital improvement money. And has they've done a great job in doing so. And David has been instrumental in doing that. $21 million road project for Main Street. David has served on multiple nonprofit boards. He's been involved in youth athletics for the city of Lovington and Lee County. Now he's asking for your vote as County Commissioner District 1 in Lee County. Message paid for by David Trujillo. 8:25, wrap her up, Tom.
All right. Matt Stone is the co-creator of South Park, says one of the texts. I asked who that was, and they're saying that.
The other creator is also high up on that list. He's like 2 down from him.
Oh, is he? Okay. And the thong was invented in 1974, says the text.
Yeah, but it just was not real popular.
Well, I kind of made it popular.
It wasn't real popular.
You did not make it popular, Tom. I hate to break it to you.
And Tom was flossing.
I'm going to tell you another thing you didn't make popular.
What?
Dental floss. Because that's what the thong reminds me of.
Well, speaking of that,
Tom was flossing them cheeks with that thong, says the texter. Okay. And Mama Bear is chiming in this morning, and she said, I went to 6th grade at went to 6th grade camp at Palomar. I don't know what she's talking about there, but she went to 6th grade camp. Okay.
She's talking about, I talked about, was it a volcano? No. Oh, the observatory.
Yeah.
Observatory. Oh, okay, there you go. By the way, congratulations to Josh Bailey. He's the new head coach of the Lovington Wildcat football team. Congratulations to him. Their old coach went to Snyder, Texas, Coach G, to coach the Tigers. So good luck to him down there as well.
Thank you, Tom. On the way, we're going to talk about the Albuquerque City Council. Also, guess who made a ton of money? Dr. Fauci.
Oh, really?
Did you see this story, Blake?
He is being questioned right now on the House.
Oh, my Lord, some royalty payments for Dr. Fauci.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is he the #1 paid retirees in the federal government, royalty payments. Yes. All right, we'll do Boob on the other side when we come back. We'll keep you updated with everything going on. News this morning being brought to you by Rebecca Long, inventor of the Atlas Makeup Mirror, atlasmakeupmirror.com, 575-631-3189. Call her today or go to the website. You can order right on that website, atlasmakeupmirror.com. The mirror comes with ×1, ×5, ×10 magnification. LED lights, and it travels so easy. Comes in a traveling case, weighs less than 4 pounds. Now, if you want the one, maybe you already have the Atlas Makeup Mirror, but you want the one that mounts on the wall. They can accommodate that too. atlasmakeupmirror.com. Go check them out today. We're coming right back. Let's qualify you for the cash news coming up next, 828 W105.
Call now. Thank you for calling. Ben's Country Market and W105. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. First Lady Jill Biden in court on her birthday, showing support for son Hunter at his federal gun trial in Delaware.
250 people will be narrowed down to 12 jurors who will determine whether Hunter Biden is guilty of 3 federal gun charges. Federal prosecutors say Hunter lied about his drug use on a form to buy a gun in October 2018, a gun that he kept for 11 days.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. President Biden expected to issue an executive order tomorrow to curtail illegal migrants at the border before heading off to Normandy to mark D-Day. Presidential candidate Donald Trump, after his New York conviction, raising $200 million, $70 million from small donors. And this video with UFC President Dana White at the fight in New Jersey.
The president is now on TikTok. It's my honor.
With applause and Kid Rock playing in the background, gaining 3.4 million TikTok followers. America is listening to Fox News.
My name is Greg Bowen. 2 months ago, my son Michael was stranded in Anchorage, Alaska. Michael had contracted a massive staph and COVID infection and was in dire condition in the hospital ICU. We were helpless, and his doctor advised us he would not survive a commercial flight home from Alaska. This is where Larry Scott literally came to our rescue. You see, Larry and his son Corey dropped everything. They flew from Hobbs, New Mexico to Anchorage, Alaska, picked up Michael, his wife, and flight doctor, and flew all the way back to Dallas. I don't know what my family would have done without Larry Scott making this angel flight happen for my son. I have heard this is the 4th time he has done this for other people like us. He literally saved my son Michael's life. I am forever grateful to Larry Scott. He is a man of true character, and I hope the people of New Mexico will remember that when you vote.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott.
Get back! Get back! I have a gun! I will f***ing shoot you!
This is Anissa Tinen. That's the 911 tape where you hear me shoot a 5-time repeat felon that broke into my home here in New Mexico and threatened me and my granddaughter. I was terrified, but what's also terrifying is that Governor Lujan Grisham is attacking our Second Amendment rights. The same Governor Lujan Grisham who handpicked Steve McCutcheon to fill a vacant state Senate seat. Later, McCutcheon told the Roswell newspaper on September 23rd that he was undecided on supporting a special session to impeach Grisham for signing away the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. McCutcheon relented only after all other Republicans had already agreed. That's why I support Larry Scott for state Senate. Larry has a career-long A rating from the NRA after hundreds of pro-Second Amendment votes over 10 years. Send the governor a message that you're not undecided about gun rights. Vote Larry Scott for state Senate because the next victim could be you.
Paid for by Our Values PAC.
Hello, this is Deborah Hicks for New Mexico House District 62. I am your only candidate active in the New Mexico legislative process from bill to law. I'm running because I want to see New Mexico flourish again. With crime at an all-time high and as an NRA lifelong member, I will defend our Second Amendment rights. I will help to extinguish the battle against oil and gas, and will focus to increase economic development and decrease government spending. Lee County needs your vote for Deborah Hicks.
Paid for by the committee to elect Deborah Hicks.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park, or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota. Let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hello, everyone. I'm State Representative Catherine Brown. I serve Carlsbad, Otis, Loving, Malagajal, and Eunice in the State House of Representatives. I'm running for re-election, and I'm asking for your support once again. I'm on the front lines in Santa Fe, fighting hard for families, schools, and businesses. I vigorously defend constitutional rights, including the right to keep and bear arms. I strongly support local industries such as oil and gas, potash, nuclear, ranching, and agriculture. Please vote for me, Catherine Brown, on June 4th.
Paid for by committee to re-elect Catherine Brown. David Fritchie, Treasurer.
The City of Champions Professional Rodeo is headed to the Artesia Horse Council Arena at the Eddy County Fairgrounds June 13th, 14th, and 15th. Gates open at 5:30. The rodeo begins at 7 p.m. nightly. Enjoy front row family fun, a calf scramble for the kids, the Rankist Bulls and Broncos on the circuit, as well as full concessions, food trucks, and New Mexico's own Blackhawk Brewery on site. Let's help them get a full house every night at the upcoming City of Champions Professional Rodeo coming to the Artesia Horse Council Arena at the Eddy County Fairgrounds June 13th, 14th, and 15th. Gates open at 5:30. Rodeo starts at 7 p.m. nightly. Thank you to sponsors Tate Branch Auto Group, Kubota, Amigo Machinery in Roswell, and Benny's Western Wear in Artesia. Early bird tickets are only $10 and are available at Benny's Western Wear and Tate Branch in Artesia, as well as Kubota, Amigo Machinery in Roswell. Gate tickets will be $12, or you can buy them online by finding the ticket link on the City of Champions Professional Rodeo's Facebook page.
This is Senator Stephen McCutcheon. When I launched this campaign, I promised that I would always defend our way of life. This has been a tough race. During the course of this campaign, members of my family have been attacked, and I've been called everything but a child of God. But I've never been attacked on my record. This race isn't about me. It's about you. And that's why I fight every day. As your senator, I'm proud that I fought and won against the Santa Fe swamp, never voting to raise your taxes, delivering $70 million to fix Highway 128, leading on border security, and putting forth the first policy plan to combat illegal immigration by Republicans in New Mexico in over a decade. That means cracking down on fentanyl dealers and providing law enforcement officers with more resources on the border. I stood up for oil and gas jobs against the radical left and against Michelle Lujan Grisham's attacks on the Second Amendment, earning the NRA endorsement along the way. And that's in just 6 months. Imagine what we can do together in 4 years. Paid for by Stephen McCutcheon for Senate.
Be in the Breakfast Club. The human brain starts working the moment you are born and never stops. Unless you're Tom A.
Did you just have a brain fart?
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to B and the Breakfast Club.
Now with the most information for you to start your day.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
8:35, we are B and the Breakfast Club. Boob of the day on the way. Good news of the day. We'll get to that and more still to come. Another day in paradise. Hot day, triple-digit forecast. It's going to be extremely hot. 6 months after Godzilla's. Godzilla -1.
Mm-hmm. Why are you making that noise?
Blew through the theaters.
What the heck was that?
One of the greatest movies in the franchise is debuting on Netflix, Tom.
I saw it there the other day.
Did you see it?
And
I didn't watch it, just saw it there.
What?
No, I didn't watch it, I saw the previews on it.
No, stop doing that. That's not anywhere close to Godzilla.
He likes it.
Americans are excited because it's a nice chance to see a giant lizard creature that's not working in the federal damn government, okay? And Ben Affleck was seen not wearing his wedding ring on the set of The Accountant 2, and rumors started to spill all over the place that Jennifer Lopez and him are heading for a divorce.
Again.
We can only assume that Ben is still wearing a wedding ring. But he took it off on the set, and then his alcohol bloated fingers, he couldn't get the damn ring back on. Okay? Leave it at that. Poor guy. Ryan Williams and his wife, Blake Lively, are taking selfies and having a blast in Spain at Taylor Swift's concert.
Wow. She's really good looking, isn't she?
Who?
Blake Lively.
Oh, I was thinking you were talking about Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Eminem released a brand new single.
Look, I'm going to say right now, Ryan Reynolds is a good-looking guy.
Right.
He is. I mean, we can all admit that.
Tom, is Ryan Williams, Ryan Reynolds a good-looking guy?
I don't know. He's the guy in Deadpool, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Eminem got a brand new single coming out, and then a album, and so they're bringing back all the old ones: Dr. Dre, Snoop, 50 Cent.
Well, they're all good friends.
And Eminem.
Yep.
Yes. And what else is going on? Starting Saturday, red light cameras in Pennsylvania began capturing license plates and issuing $100 fines. Those red light cameras, those things are evil. They really are.
Well, they are, because there's so many times they might be right, but there are so many aspects of them that are incorrect. Right?
Yeah.
Like, are they calibrated correctly?
Yeah.
Et cetera.
Yeah. Drug makers seeking royalty payments to Dr. Fauci. Now, Dr. Fauci has the National Institute for Health. And the drug makers are paying him royalty payments as he told us to keep the damn mask on and take the vaccine, while at the same time benefiting from us taking the vaccine.
To the tune of millions of dollars.
Yes. Boy, this sounds like it's okay, huh?
Well, if ever there was a dude that had an evil
number
smirk,
like $710 million?
yeah. If it,
$710 million.
So when you look at him and he's smiling, does that not just an evil smirk?
Look, the dude is already, what's his pension? He is the highest pensioner
in the government, yes.
In the federal government. He makes more money than any president.
Mm-hmm. Dang. What do they make, about $400K a year?
I think he's at about 450.
Man.
Yes. And then we see that 710 million, that was 1 year, 22-23. Mm-hmm. The year before that, it was 325, if I got that number right. Wow.
I'm looking, but it's not coming up.
Well, so much for them Democrats being podunks. That's
Look, there are more. Whenever they try to tell you that Republicans are the party of the rich, that's not true anymore.
No,
Republicans have become the party of the working man because there are more wealthy Democrats than there are wealthy Republicans.
Yep.
Amen. Tyson Food hired foreign workers over U.S. citizens. We've been hearing about this, but finally the letter went out. Tyson Chicken received a complaint letter sent to the Department of Justice and the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission and the Iowa Civil Rights Commission on Wednesday by the American First Legal Action Committee, calling for an investigation into the Springdale, Arkansas-based meat packer who allegedly hired illegal aliens, foreign workers, over U.S. citizens. And they are not alone. There are other companies that have been found guilty of doing the same thing. In fact, I'll take it one step further. They laid off American workers to be able to hire foreign workers. That should be illegal, and people should go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tyson Chicken, if that is true, you should go to jail. Whoever issued the directive that you are not going to hire U.S. citizens, Donnie King's his name. Yeah, Donnie King should be in jail.
Yeah.
He should. Big Bubba ought to be cozying up to him. But we know about those white-collar crime prisons.
I got some chicken for you.
Yeah, chicken neck. Looks like Biden administration. Did I just say that?
Yes, you did.
Biden administration opening a new facility in Mesquite, Texas, that will greatly improve the rate of manufactured munitions that are being sent to Ukraine.
Uh-oh.
The plant will operate by General Dynamics. Here's another company that benefits greatly
War Machine.
From the war machine. General Dynamics.
Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know, Mesquite is a suburb on the east side of Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. So the facility began construction last year and will operate as part of a funds allotted by the $95 billion security supplemental passed by the government. So we're paying for it while General Dynamics makes bank off of it.
We are. And then my next question with that is, we're doing that. We're sending these to the Ukraine and telling them that it's okay to use our weapons for offense, but we're holding Israel's weapons back and saying they can't.
Yeah. So this thing is going to be able 155 millimeter shells.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be able to deliver 1,155 millimeter shells to Ukraine. And so the Biden administration has delivered over 1 million since 2022. And this thing will be able to produce a ridiculous amount of these shells.
Mm-hmm.
$95 billion. So, wow.
Well, and that's the shell that they use in the field guns, howitzers, stuff like that.
Wow. I'm blown away. 5 migrants died in as many days along the Texas border. 5 illegal aliens lost their lives during the 5-day stretch. Just in one Texas border sector. That's the Del Rio sector. And guess what? The president of Mexico, Tom, what's his name?
It's a she.
No. She hasn't taken office yet.
Fox?
Really? That dude's haven't been president in like 20 years. Are you kidding me?
You think Vicente Fox is still the president of Mexico?
You actually think Vicente? Wow.
A good name to pluck out of the air, right?
Former news guy. Wow.
I'm retired, remember.
I'm retired too. That doesn't make me something. Are you kidding me? Anyway, he has just handed Biden an immigration gift. The leader of Mexico has dramatically ramped up apprehensions on their southern border. So the idea is from now until the election, they are going to detain more people in Mexico and escort them out, deport them out to help the Biden numbers.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And it's Obrador, by the way.
Lopez
Obrador.
Yes. Manuel Lopez Obrador. Vicente Fox. Are you kidding me? I swear it's been 20 years since Vicente Fox. No, about 15 years since he's been president.
Well, that's the last time Tom checked the news story.
Holy crap. Albuquerque City Council is addressing the migrant-friendly charter. Monday night, the next Albuquerque council meeting. That's tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Council is expected to take final action on a resolution expected to change the city's charter as a migrant-friendly city. See, I have no problem with being a migrant-friendly city because migrant-friendly city means that people that migrated here and have proper documentation, we are going to accept them just like citizens.
Correct.
And we should.
Yes.
So they're going to change this so it will allow the city and its departments, like the Albuquerque Police Department, to aid federal agencies to provide information if a migrant is charged with a violent crime or drug-related charge. So they were holding that back from Border Patrol before. One of the resolution sponsors, Councilman Renee Groot, said this will only impact those who break the law. That's common sense, isn't it?
Right.
We'll see if it passes. Something tells me it will not pass.
Well, because they don't want migrant-friendly. They want illegal alien-friendly.
Amen. Yes. And a radical climate activist vandalized a painting in Paris.
Yeah.
Paris authorities arrested the radical climate protester Saturday after she vandalized the painting, the Monet.
Oh. And glued herself to the wall.
Yeah, she glued herself to the wall. I would have just ripped her hand right off that damn wall.
I still don't understand why they vandalize works of art.
I thought the left liked giving money to the arts.
I just don't get it. You know why?
I don't get it. You know, if you and who are you protesting? What is it that you're protesting?
Yeah,
environmental activists. What did Monet do to you?
Well, and that painting is poppy fields, right? So
Yes.
it shows a clean environment.
I don't get it. These people.
They're going to be putting all of these things behind plexiglass soon.
Yeah, you have lost your mind. All right, a brand new Guinness World Book of Records broken. Let's get to the boob of the day, being brought to you by our buddies at Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. They've got the experience to take care of you, offering functional medicine. How do they treat you with functional medicine? They treat you with natural supplements. They treat you with remedies like stem cell therapy. What are they doing with stem cell therapy? I mean, it is endless. But if you have a disc that is completely gone in your back, stem cell therapy could fix that without a surgery. Ozone therapy can also help a whole lot, rejuvenate some stuff. Now, it's not going to completely repair it like stem cell. They also offer hormonal optimization. Ladies, if you have gone through menopause and having some problems with your hormones, I've actually had husbands that have called and said, what's that number? True story. And same thing with guys. Guys, if you're going through testosterone that's extremely low, this can cause depression, can cause you to be lethargic, can cause you to not have any get up and go. And as far as your love life done gone. Talk to them about testosterone. 3900 North Lovington Highway in Hobbs, Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics, proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
So it's difficult to parlay a life of crime into a commercial endorsement deal, but if anyone can do it, this guy can. A 40-year-old guy in the UK named Adam Spencer was arrested last week after he was nabbed for committing a series of thefts during the past month or so. Now, during one of the thefts, Adam stole 17 tubes of Pringles, like the potato chip, right? And when police questioned him as to why he did it, he said, quote, "Once you pop, you can't stop."
Okay.
I could totally see this guy being in a Super Bowl ad. Now, Adam admitted to the thefts, and he was charged with 2 counts of burglary, 3 counts of thefts, and was given a 6-month suspended sentence.
Whoa.
He was also ordered to pay about $250 to compensate the victims or the stores that he stole them from. And he didn't just steal Pringles, though. He also took, quote, meat products, among other things. Yeah, for doing that and possibly getting a Super Bowl ad out of the deal, you are the Boob of the Day.
Boob of the Day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Tom on the tax 851, quickly.
All right, the president of Mexico, Andres Miguel Lopez Obrador, just got elected again. I don't think so. Claudia,
he lost.
Sheinbaum is a puppet community organizer since the early 70s. Her brother was jailed in 1968, and she's a poro. Any resemblance to Obama and Brandon, says the texter? You're right. And you know what, B, that's going on right now in the Permian Basin. It's not just at Tyson's. It's everywhere where they're hiring illegals. And, guys, have you seen the story out of California that electronically controlled all vehicles to stop speeding? Here we go with much more control, says the text. And somebody please put Tommy out of his misery, would you? Says the texter. Okay. And a shout out to Art Kelly for getting me a job in the oil field. Way to go, Art. You're a good friend. B.
All right, I was just looking at the Mexican results. They are in, and the general election happened yesterday. Voters elected a brand new president. Yes. So, and I don't know when she will take office. Claudia Sheinbaum, I have no idea when she takes office.
Probably December or early January.
You're just pulling that out of the air.
Are you just
do you know
pulling
anything
that
about Mexican politics?
Uranus?
I mean, we do. We put our presidents in January.
So what does that have to do with Mexico?
Why not?
Their elections are right now. Why would that have anything to do with it?
Pick a day.
Can you do me a favor? Repeat after me.
What?
Just repeat after me. Don't even.
No,
even
what are you
think
going to set me up for? Hello, anybody?
Don't even. Just repeat. I am.
I don't think so.
An idiot.
Okay, she will start a 6-year term on October 1st.
There you go. Well, I was in the neighborhood.
But you weren't.
Yeah. All right, let's get updated, find out what's going on with news this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across Southeast New Mexico, serving all of Southeast New Mexico. When I come back, I've got cuts from Trump that I have not played. He spoke out, so I'm going to get to that. Seminole Siding and Construction, trusted name across Southeast New Mexico, metal buildings, siding. They can take care of your metal roof, your shingle roof. Look, if you have hail damage, could be not just your roof, could be your gutters, could be the siding, could be your metal building, could be a lot of different, maybe you had some windows broke. So if you need somebody to go out and fix all that and more, work with your insurance company. They can do just that. Call them 575-391-1430. If you're looking for a company that can deal with the insurance companies and take care of your roof, not a problem. Get in touch with them. Seminole Siding and Construction.com for more information. Let's qualify you for the cash. 8:55 W105 News up next.
Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest on This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
News brought to you by Stone Oilfield Services in Lovington. Getting the job done right every time since 2004.
Proudly serving most phases of the oil field process, Stone Oilfield Services has a fleet of over 60 trucks and a workforce of over 100 employees. From water transport to kill and vac truck operations, flowback services and pit filling to the clean out of rigs and tanks, as well as oiling and acidizing, Stone Oilfield believes in getting the job done right every time. Their central motto, do what you say you can do. Call them today at 575-396-1840. That's 396-1840.
MTD Radio News, I'm Joe Miller. Here's what's happening. A Portales, New Mexico man sentenced for crimes related to child abuse and attacking officers. He pled guilty in March this year. 29-year-old Alfonso Perez accused of 2 incidents, as a result charged with multiple felonies such as abuse of a child, 4 counts of battery, and a peace officer. First happened in February of 2022 when he reportedly became angry with a 7-year-old child. Police say he beat that child with a Louis Vuitton belt. Later, the child's grandmother noticed purple bruises all over the body. It was reported Perez charged for the incident in June of that same year while awaiting trial for the child abuse case when he tried to fight jailers at the jail. 3 officers were struck. A taser was knocked out of one of their hands. He faces charges for that. As a property owner, imagine one day discovering squatters occupying your land or house. What would you do? Lee County Attorney John Caldwell recommends property owners who have squatters on their land to call the Lee County Sheriff's Office and allege criminal trespass. Lee County Sheriff Corey Heldon also recommends calling LCSO as soon as possible. The definition of a squatter is someone who was occupying an abandoned or vacant property without permission from the owner of that property. Police suspect foul play after a Carlsbad man missing since December last year found dead in a remote area of Eddy County. 23-year-old Bill Kemmerer was identified Friday after an autopsy performed on the remains. He was first reported missing by family members December 4th last year. He was last seen days earlier. Kemmerer's body was found May 17th near the intersection of Bounds Road and Black River Village Road. Investigators did notify Kemmerer's family of the positive ID of the body. That's what's happening. I'm Joe Miller, MTD Radio News.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azale, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
In the race for state senate, after all the political noise, there is one issue that matters most to voters. Every job in our area depends on the survival of the oil and gas industry. Which candidate will best protect our oil and gas jobs? That's easy. It's Larry Scott. He's been in the oil and gas business for over 40 years. He fought for our industry, for our jobs, and for us in Santa Fe. He stands up to progressives who hate oil and gas and who want to kill our vital industry. Make no mistake, progressives have vowed to outlaw oil and gas. That's why we must vote for Larry Scott for state senate. Ask anyone who knows this business and they will tell you they're supporting Larry Scott. His opponent, Steve McCutcheon, lacks the ability and knowledge to defend this important industry. Southeast New Mexico loses if Steve McCutcheon represents us in the Senate. That's why we need Larry Scott. Vote for oil and gas. Vote for our jobs. Vote for Larry Scott.
This ad paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott, New Mexico State Senate District 42.
Good times and bad come and go. The dust settles and you take a look around. That's when you see who your real friends are. We've seen our members through the toughest of times. We're conservative and we're consistent. We don't always tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes we say no, but we're always looking out for your best interest. That's what friends are for. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number, you're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
Lee County is full of people who love to be here. Full of people who care about Lee County roads, Lee County schools, Lee County police and fire. And most of all, full of people who care about the future of Lee County and Lee County children. Re-elect Pat Sims for Lee County Commissioner District 5. Pat has proven he will work hard for the people in Lee County. Re-elect Pat Sims for another 4 years.
Hi, I'm Pat Sims. I love Lee County, and I know you do too. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me as your District 5 Lee County Commissioner. Thank you.
Paid for by Pat Sims.
What happened to Larry Scott?
What do you mean?
Larry's attacking his opponent over a water violation that resulted in no monetary fine, while Scott himself has over 10 state violations for his personal business.
That sounds hypocritical.
Right? And Larry's attacking others for receiving an appointment from Michelle Lujan Grisham. But he tried to get that same appointment from her and called himself a moderate in his job application to get it.
Wow. If the appointment was so bad, why did Larry apply for it?
There's more. Larry joined Michelle Lujan Grisham to give free health care to illegals, then said it was to keep rural hospitals open.
Yeah, right.
And he's voted to raise taxes 8 times, but in 10 years in Santa Fe has never even sponsored a bill on border security. But, of course, now that it's campaign season, he's talking tough on the border.
Seriously? What's happened to Larry?
After 10 years in Santa Fe, it's clear Larry has lost his way.
It's settled. I'm voting for Senator McCutcheon. Paid for by Stephen McCutcheon for Senate.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Bee and the Breakfast Club, the radio version of Hooked on Phonics.
It's so stupid and awesome.
Text now 877-396-W105 to talk to Bee and the Breakfast Club.
Another day, another 55 cent. Remember when, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year that Biden said his son did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Remember that? Well, why is there a trial going on if he did nothing wrong?
Well, if you remember, what he said was, let me find it real quick. I had it up. He said, my son has done nothing wrong. I trust him. I have faith in him. And it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him.
He's the smartest man that he knows.
Now, he also said this morning, as the president, I don't and won't comment on pending federal cases.
Really?
But as a dad, I have boundless love for my son, confidence in him, and respect for his strength. Now, where was the I don't and won't comment on federal cases when Donald Trump was in the kangaroo court?
So we've got Hunter Biden on one case, and then in another room, they're investigating Dr. Fauci, taking almost $1 billion in payments, royalties. to encourage you to take the jab. Will you ever believe the government again when it comes to any type of vaccine?
Well, there is one group of people who will always follow like sheep. And that's what they're counting on.
Yeah. Another story up on Fox this morning says traveling internationally, it is illegal to bring certain medications with you when coming into another country. I'm going to be honest. I brought pain medication. I didn't know. Nobody. I brought 8 vials of testosterone into another country with syringes. And guess what? They went through the scanning machine. Nobody ever said anything. Nothing. Whatever. All right, 904 KWMW, Malchimore, 105.1 FM, Beyond the Breakfast Club Morning Show this morning being brought to you by Rig Outfitters and the Home Store. Find them in the Broadmoor Mall. They've got a huge collection of everything you need to go to work in the patch. FR jeans, coveralls, steel-toe boots. They've got hard hats, safety gear, and in the same location, they have furniture, appliances, and electronics. Zero down financing, too. Ray Outfitters and the Home Store, our buddy Joe, good people. Good people. And you know what? Prides himself on having a very friendly staff that are very helpful when you go in there. Right next door, same thing can be said at Scrub Outfitters. Next door to Rig Outfitters in the Broadmoor Mall, the largest selection of scrubs and 100 miles, Healing Hands, Met Couture's, Peaches, Dickies, all the big names when it comes to scrubs. They also have a huge selection of compression socks. You might need, for medical reasons, need to wear compression socks. And if you're looking for a place that has a huge selection, a lot of different colors and designs and that type of stuff, they've got them. And they also have comfortable shoes and medical equipment, too. Scrub Outfitters, Rig Outfitters in the Broadmoor Mall. Tom on the text.
You know, I know you have to pay the bills, but these political ads are wearing me out, says the
You got
texter.
one more day.
Yeah, one more day, and then we're done.
It is a law. We cannot turn political ads
That's
away.
right. Biden Lover says, for some reason, the Orange Clown was in court and found G for not doing anything wrong. Laugh out loud. That's Biden Lover this morning.
Look.
What exactly did he do wrong? I mean, I'll wait for your answer.
Yeah, and if you put Biden in his place with the exact same charges and the exact same witnesses and everything, and you just change the names, what are you going to say then? Because if you say that you would say the same thing, you're being intellectually dishonest.
Right.
Because can you even tell me what the underlying charges are?
Nope.
Because
most people can't.
No, because
They're
they didn't
jurors.
have to agree to have a unanimous
verdict. Can't
verdict.
even give you the underlying. No, they don't know.
Yeah.
Tom.
And boy, are you talking damage? Have you seen Tom from the back? Okay. He goes on to say, don't think that's
With the
repairable.
thong, that's a lot of hail damage.
Don't think that's repairable, though, says the texter. And B, did Tom try on your wife's clothes after he kept
I
their
don't
laundry?
know. He might have.
Did you, Tom?
They
That
got
the
stolen,
whole
man.
basket of clothes went missing.
That Tom took.
Well, I went to pick him up the laundry. And
Did you wear them?
No.
No.
Somebody else took them.
They disappeared. They disappeared. He has no idea where they went.
I was doing him a favor, too. Thanks a lot, B. Hello.
Well, thanks a lot for doing me a favor and then not bringing them to me. And by the way, I didn't ask you to pick them up.
Yeah, you did.
No, you were there and said, well, I guess I'll just pick his up too, which you did and then lost them.
Dang, dude.
Where'd you lose?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Got
don't
stolen.
know.
They got
They're
stolen.
in my car. I don't
Out
know
of
what
your
happened
car?
to them. All the crap that's in my car, I can't find them.
By the way, I sold that
breaks
car
his own-
yesterday.
Huh?
I sold my car yesterday.
Your
My
Tahoe?
old Honda.
Oh, the one
Great.
you ran into the dumpster
Glad
with?
I'm running a little late. 9:08. Man breaks his own record for typing with his nose.
Ooh.
So Indiana man, Guinness World Book of Record, typing the alphabet 25.66 seconds with his nose. I'm going to be honest. I can't type that fast with 10 fingers. Well, 9.5.
Right.
Or 9 and we'll just call it 9. Castor oil. There are people that actually believe TikTok and are taking the TikTok challenge. And it is causing an explosive diarrhea. Tom, next time you got to go to the doctor and go to the hospital because you're compacted, remember castor oil. I remember as a kid,
remedy
my
for
mother
years.
and grandpa, if you just said you had a stomach ache, they break out that damn castor oil.
And it flushed you right out.
Oh, so there are people that are actually listening on TikTok and saying it does weight loss miracles. Yes, because it completely washes you out. You people on TikTok, you're gonna do so. They're drinking way too much castor oil. I remember my grandmother, man, she was just like, my stomach hurts. Oh, no, here's the castor oil. 1 teaspoon. I can only imagine if you drank half a bottle.
Man, how could you even... Stuff tastes awful.
Well, that was the sound of the explosion. Oh, my Lord. TikTok. And you believe TikTok? Wow. Still to come. I got a lot of stuff to get to. Donald Trump. Let me get to Donald Trump before I take a break, and then we're going to come back. We got good news of the day and more. Donald Trump spoke. He was interviewed on Fox Saturday. Here's what he said.
You know, I'm fighting for the Constitution. I'm fighting for the same thing that you three. I watch you all the time, and same thing that you do. You fight for freedom. You fight for your country. These people are sick. They're sick. They're deranged. You know, I talk about the enemy on the outside and the enemy from within. So you have Russia, you have China. But if you have a smart president, you always handle him quite easily, actually. We have a lot of advantages. But the enemy from within, they are doing damage to this country. They want open borders. They want high interest rates. They now want to quadruple your taxes. Quadruple. You know, all my life I watched politics, and it was always like politicians want to lower taxes, not quadruple them. There's a whole sickness going on right now. So
well, because they have to have a way of paying for all these newcomers. They do. And by the way, many of the Hispanics, especially those that came from communist countries, they're very scared. They asked about that on Fox on Saturday.
That our country is turning into the countries that they left behind, the corrupt, dysfunctional countries they left behind.
And they are scared, and they're great people, very entrepreneurial, great energy. And as you know, I'm doing very well with them. I mean, beyond anybody, I don't think anybody's ever had polling.
Do you think this is why, a little bit?
I think a little bit. And they've always liked me, and I've always liked them. You know, I've done well from the beginning. In 2016, I won the entire border along Texas, and they're all like 85%. And it's been great from the beginning, and now I'm leading. I think I'm leading.
So Donald Trump went on to talk about this bookkeeping error, which wasn't a bookkeeping error, really. Here's what he had to say.
You know, I hate when they say a bookkeeping, this and that. It's not. It's called, think of it, expense. I use the word expense. Legal expense. I pay a lawyer. He wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer at the time. I pay a lawyer, and he's a lawyer. It's called legal expense. A bookkeeper, without ever speaking to me, because she did the right thing, who's been with me for years, marks it down as legal expense. In other words, I paid a legal expense. It's marked down as a legal expense. And they say that's a fraud. What am I going to call it? Did you ever see a ledger? Do you ever study accounting? The line's like about 1 inch long and 1/8 of an inch wide. You can't write the story. But there is no story. If you pay a legal expense and you write it down as a legal expense, and then they indict you and they go to a grand jury, and they don't use Bob Casella's testimony. You know, they use almost none of it. They didn't want him before the grand jury because he's very persuasive. This judge didn't want him to talk. They shouldn't have allowed certain people to testify. It was totally wrong that they did that. So everyone tells me this is the easiest case they've ever seen to overturn, but they don't care because they want to last till after the election.
Yep. And this case will be overturned.
Right. Yeah.
But they still get to use Trump being a felon, maybe to their benefit.
But it's kind of backfiring on him, though, because like the one guy said, well, I can relate to him more now.
Yeah. So Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump has anything to worry about. I mean, if they jail him and keep him off the political stump, that will bite him back in the butt.
You hope.
Yeah, I think it will. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. Good news of the day on the way. Quick check of the weather being brought to you by WWRV, 3 RV parks in one. They're all in Carlsbad, 162 RV hookups. They all come with 30 and 50 amps available. All utilities included for one low price, and that does include wired internet. If you enjoy gaming or streaming on your days off and your time off, not a problem. They're also pet friendly and very well lit up with a lot of street lights. Go to the website, check them out, www.rv3.com, or call them 988-0392-100 for today's high. 66 tonight, 101 tomorrow, and on Thursday we're back up to 101. Throughout the entire week, we're close to 100. We're going to keep you updated with everything going on. By the way, you can always check that weather, W105radio.com. Let's get updated, find out what's going on with news. We'll keep you updated. Good news coming up next. News being brought to you by our friends at Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue, 811 West Main in Artesia. If you're looking for a awesome place to go have breakfast or lunch, Roadrunner Grill and Barbecue. Look, serving up breakfast right now. They have awesome burritos and platters. And if you're thinking about lunch already, look, they have a lot of stuff. Same great menu items they've always had, and now barbecue. Want them to cater your next big event? Not a problem. Want them to prepare meals for everybody on location? You can pick them up and bring them out there. If you want to say thank you to your men and women that have worked so hard, 575-736-2573. Call them today, 811 West Main in Artesia. Taking a break, qualifying you for the cash. We're being the Breakfast Club.
Call now. Thank you for calling.
Ben's Country Market in Artesia presents the Cash Blowout Contest. This is the Cash Blowout Contest on W105.
Call now. Call now.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Jury selection underway in the Hunter Biden federal gun case, and there's a special visitor.
This is ongoing. The case is open. Hunter Biden arrived here into the courtroom with his attorney. Shortly thereafter, the First Lady, Jill Biden, surprising us all, also arrived here on her 73rd birthday.
Fox's Rich Edson, Hunter Biden accused of illegally buying and possessing a gun while being hooked on drugs. Dr. Anthony Fauci tight-lipped entering a House hearing room for Q&A with House lawmakers on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Lawmakers are expected to dig into government decision-making during the coronavirus pandemic. They're also likely to looking at embarrassing emails suggesting a key senior Fauci advisor was seeking ways to circumvent public records laws.
Fox's Mike Emanuel. This is the first time Dr. Anthony Fauci is testifying publicly since retiring. America is listening to Fox News.
Hello, this is former Senator Gay Kernan. In the race for state senate, I'm endorsing Representative Larry Scott and hope you'll support him too. I've been very disappointed by the negative and untruthful campaign run by Larry's opponent, Steve McCutcheon, as his campaign so far has not been based upon the facts. The truth is, Larry Scott is one of the most reliable, conservative votes in Santa Fe and is the single strongest voice for oil and gas in the entire New Mexico legislature. I'm also disappointed that our governor appointed McCutcheon to the Senate and in doing so has divided our southeast New Mexico community. Larry Scott was supported by the majority of our county commissioners who recognized Larry's strong conservative record and service to southeast New Mexico. Please do not believe the negative campaign against Larry Scott. Larry Scott has earned our trust.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry R. Scott.
You're back! You're back! I have a gun! I will fucking shoot you!
This is Anissa Tinen. That's the 911 tape where you hear me shoot a 5-time repeat felon that broke into my home here in New Mexico and threatened me and my granddaughter. I was terrified, but what's also terrifying is that Governor Lujan Grisham is attacking our Second Amendment rights. the same Governor Lujan Grisham who handpicked Steve McCutcheon to fill a vacant state Senate seat. Later, McCutcheon told the Roswell newspaper on September 23rd that he was undecided on supporting a special session to impeach Grisham for signing away the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. McCutcheon relented only after all other Republicans had already agreed. That's why I support Larry Scott for state Senate. Larry has a career-long A rating from the NRA after hundreds of pro-Second Amendment votes over 10 years. Send the governor a message that you're not undecided about gun rights. Vote Larry Scott for state Senate because the next victim could be you.
Paid for by Our Values PAC.
This is Chad Hamill, and I'm running to be your next senator for District 32. My opponent, Candy Azell, can't defend her 20-year record in the Santa Fe swamp, so she's attacking other people's families and kids on the radio. That's the difference in this race. Candy attacks other people's kids while I'm running to protect yours. And on my record, as a fire chief, I have seen the devastation of open borders. Fentanyl overdoses are out of control. As a small business owner here in the community, I know firsthand how politicians in Santa Fe have destroyed small businesses for our communities. As a previous school board member, I know local control has been ripped away from our schools. It is time for a change. The same old just isn't working. I will be your conservative voice in Santa Fe. Career politicians have gotten New Mexico into this mess, but as a firefighter, I've made my living running towards problems, and I'm ready to fix the problems. I humbly ask for your vote on June the 4th so we can put the fire out in Santa Fe. Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
It's Elaine Sena Cortez, your conservative Republican candidate for state representative. It's no secret that Lee County bankrolls New Mexico. Radical Democrats use your tax dollars for abortion clinics, the radical brainwashing of our children, the hostile attacks on oil and gas producers, and crushing regulations on our small businesses. It's time to stop the left from further destroying our conservative values, and I'm their worst nightmare. Vote for Elaine Sena Cortez on or before June 4th to restore common sense to New Mexico.
Paid for by the Committee to elect Elaine Sena Cortez for New Mexico House.
Hi, I'm Laura Boyd of Rio Grace Landscaping and Garden Center in Lovington. Take some time to browse 5,000 square feet of plants, shrubs, and flowers. Shop for shade trees to beat the summer heat. And get your garden goods, fruit trees, herbs, companion plants, fertilizer, top and garden soil, plus organic compost. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and on Sunday by appointment. Call us today at 575-396-7464. And come on down to 4 Crockett Road, just north of Lovington on the Tatum Highway. Rio Grace, your garden and landscape professionals.
What happened to Larry Scott?
What do you mean?
Larry's attacking his opponent over a water violation that resulted in no monetary fine, while Scott himself has over 10 state violations for his personal business.
That sounds hypocritical.
Right? And Larry's attacking others for receiving an appointment from Michelle Lujan Grisham. But he tried to get that same appointment from her and called himself a moderate in his job application to get it.
Wow. If the appointment was so bad, why did Larry apply for it?
There's more. Larry joined Michelle Lujan Grisham to give free health care to illegals, then said it was to keep rural hospitals open.
Yeah, right.
And he's voted to raise taxes 8 times, but in 10 years in Santa Fe has never even sponsored a bill on border security. But, of course, now that it's campaign season, he's talking tough on the border.
Seriously? What's happened to Larry?
After 10 years in Santa Fe, it's clear Larry has lost his way.
It's settled. I'm voting for Senator McCutcheon. Paid for by Stephen McCutcheon for Senate.
This is Larry Marker, candidate for Senate District 27. I am an America First Republican. Over the past few months, we've seen and heard a lot from politicians. Those guys claim to be fighters. They put out hundreds of campaign signs, spend thousands of dollars on advertisements, and remind you of the prestigious positions they've held. These politicians don't even have the grit to show up to a real debate. My questions to you are these. Where were those guys when your businesses were being shut down and your churches were closed? Where were those guys when your school board members were threatened and some were even fired? Have those self-proclaimed fighters even lifted a finger to fight for the unborn? Have either of those guys invested or completely exhausted their personal resources defending your children and your parental rights? Do they have a plan to challenge a government land grab and the dozens of other issues facing us that will further erode our freedoms and destroy our nation? Please do your research. A lion doesn't need to tell you he is a lion. For more information, go to LarryMarker.com and please vote for Larry Marker on June 4th. This ad was paid for by Friends of Larry Marker.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
You're waking up to the morning morons. One does his best to make you think he's a moron. The other is not a moron. The other is a member of the Mensa Society. I don't know.
Hey, I'm listening to a dumb nonsense radio show.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to one of the morons.
924, good news of the day on the way. I got a couple more stories before we get to Mike Lee, Matt Gaetz, Tucker Carlson, Don Jr. traveled to El Salvador. Second inauguration of Bucky. Is that how you say his name, the president of El Salvador?
Sure.
Buckley.
I can never say it.
Yeah. Anyway, so they were there. And you know what he said? We don't even bring some of our opponents. We don't even put them in jail or take them to court. Yeah. Third world country. Yeah.
Yeah, more fair than we are.
Yeah. Son accused of killing his father. This is an example of what could happen. Yeah. Red flag law. It's there. A man in Santa Fe has been arrested after being accused of shooting his father. Something his father had worried about months before. So the red flag law is there. Santa Fe, you would think, would embrace that, but they didn't. They received a call about shots fired on the scene. Police say they found the father, James Duncan, 54 years old, bleeding on the ground. Police reported the son, Zachary, 34 years old, was the guy that shot him. James's wife stated both the son and father had a rocky relationship. But the father, back in September 2023, was charged with, the son was charged with beating his dad up. And by the way, the father petitioned for the red flag law to be used. Guess what happened? Didn't go through. So now we have the dead father.
Yep.
So the governor, I would love to ask her the question. So this red flag law was supposed to be the do-all that would save people's lives.
Yes.
You have a much younger man beating up his father. The father petitions, no red flag law. If it works so well, why didn't it work in this case? Just wondering, Gov. Just wondering. That could be taken out the trash, but we got to get to the good news of the day. Good news being brought to you by Farmers Insurance agent Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D in Lovington, 575-396-0513. Home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance. Get in touch with Herschel Rustin Hayes today, right across the street from Bob's Thriftway in Lovington, proud sponsor of the good news of the day.
So a 5-year-old foster kid in New York named Ezra has been waiting for a liver transplant. Now he's got a donor after his former preschool teacher has stepped up.
Oh.
Her name is Carissa Fisher. She got tested but didn't tell his foster parents until she found out if she was a perfect match. She showed up at their door last week, and it's on video, and it's a pretty touching video, and the surgery is set for later this summer. And a woman in Arkansas gave birth in the bathroom of a Golden Corral and didn't even know she was pregnant.
Oh, my God.
She and her new son, Tamar, are both doing great. Golden Corral posted a photo of them and joked that he's their youngest fan ever.
Huh.
Yeah, there's other jokes there too, but I'm not going to make them. A couple in Orlando was planning to get married last month, right before their first baby was due. But their son came early at just 33 weeks. So the nursing staff found a chaplain at the last second, made a veil out of gauze, and held a wedding right there in the hospital.
Nice.
Their son Reggie was born 3 hours later. And Kevin, that is the good news of the day.
What the hell's up with this?
Well, that's nice.
Is that the same noise that you made with the thong on?
You have no heart, man.
9:28. We are B and the Breakfast Club. Another day.
Wow.
Another 55 cents. More. Tom A. and the text.
All right. You know, I'm going to vote tomorrow. Republican says, I suggest anybody that's at work right now and doesn't have any paycheck left from last week, you get out and vote to take the time to do so. And we got to make a change. That's right. So tomorrow,
I would encourage everyone listening to our voice, if you have not voted, you can vote tomorrow in the primary, because you can register tomorrow and vote right then. And if you're a DTS or you're a Democrat, you can change your party affiliation at the poll and vote in the primary.
7 a.m., 7 p.m. tomorrow. Polls open and close.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there. They're important.
And Tom will be out there trying to vote for people that are out of his district.
He will.
Yes.
Yeah. He was like, I wanted to vote for the guy from Mississippi.
And complaining that he can't make up his own ballot.
Yeah.
Yep. So tomorrow's voting day. Go vote.
I want to vote for DeSantis, but I couldn't. I don't understand why I couldn't.
And honestly, it is vitally important that the people in southeast New Mexico go vote.
Let's get out there, guys.
Haven't woke up yet. Elections have consequences.
Yep.
God bless you guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the Tuesday edition of Be in the Breakfast Club. I will be out of my studio on the road, but I will be doing the show. Okay. You might not even notice I was gone, but I'll be somewhere else.
Are we going to see a beach in the background?
It could be. Beach in the background. And Tom, God bless you.
Nice.
God bless you.
See you tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you later. Tradio is coming up next on W105.
Hello, everyone. This is Catherine Brown. I made local history in 2010 when I was elected to serve House District 55 in the New Mexico House of Representatives. I became the first woman and the first Republican elected to this office. I now rank 7th in seniority in the House. Because of my efforts, Social Security benefits are no longer taxed for the vast majority of senior New Mexicans. Financial literacy is now a required subject in all public